Today is a no-holds-barred Connor McDavid better for the NHL and hobby. Jason Mashera is not about the bling. Spring debuts become Series 1 Young Guns and a whole lot more. Welcome back to episode 381 of the Hockey Cards Gongshow podcast, presented by our good friends at Upper Deck.
It's your friendly neighborhood hockey-loving goofballs. Welcome to the Gong Show.
Hello, hobby family. Happy Monday. Along for the ride today is our good friend, the Oracle, the guy who knows anything and everything about, can answer any question. Of course, we're talking about Jeremy Lee. Welcome back to the show, Jeremy. Glad to have you on.
Thank you for having me, fellas. It's always a joy to be here with you. Appreciate it.
Hi, Philip.
Hello, Joshua. How are you doing?
You're looking relaxed today. You're in like Sunday mode. Yeah, we record on Sundays. Sorry, fourth wall.
Monday, but I try to make Sundays as lazy as possible. Yeah, I got my Smurfs shirt on and my Adidas track pants.
Okay.
Yeah.
Baba Louie, how are you?
Doing well. Good day.
Yeah.
Good Sunday to record for Monday.
Yeah, we're just a bunch of old guys. Nothing exciting. Anyone have like a fun story to tell, or like make our lives look interesting, or should we just talk about some hockey cards?
I had a really good chicken Caesar salad last night.
Ooh.
Okay.
As in
Kinda
Saturday or Sunday?
On the weekend, on Saturday, I had a good chicken salad. Kind of took me out.
Ooh.
I think I ate a little too much, so I went to bed early. And
Yeah. No, the wife and I enjoyed the F1 race in Suzuka today. Yesterday.
Oh yeah, Suzuka, Japan, where my daughter is.
Yeah.
So she didn't go to the race. She saw like
Speaking of
giant-
Japan, I've got one bag left to do in the Back to the Future DeLorean for Lego. I'm on one more bag. I'll finish it after this. Yeah, having some Lego fun in the house. We're a Lego family here.
So is that
that's
one of the
good.
toys like you bought your kids so that you could really build?
No, Josh, I will admit it. We go to the Lego store and we all pick something out. My son, my daughter, and
Nice.
me. And mine is always the most expensive somehow. But I wanted the Back to the Future DeLorean, and it's been fun.
Nice.
Been working on that one. Yeah.
there's been some serious advancements in the designing. You can get Darth Vader and whole cities, Empire State Building.
Oh, yeah.
You get the Colosseum in Rome. Yeah, that one was tempting, but I don't know. They're definitely charging appropriately.
And then you run out of space. They take up space. But yeah, it's like, hockey cards, sports cards, hobby number one, Lego. It's up there, but it's on the list, but it's well down there, I should say.
Do you have an official Lego store up there in Calgary, or is it just a department store that has Legos?
No, we have a Lego store right in our one of our big malls here, not too far. And then there's another toy store in that same mall that has as good of, if not a better selection than the actual Lego store does.
Well, as much as
cool.
I despise it, Josh and I would be probably happy to take you to the Mall of America, to the Lego store, if you haven't seen that one.
Yeah,
I haven't been to the Mall of America since like the year it opened, back in the 80s probably. And I'd love to come check that place out again.
Huh? We'll get you here.
I have you guys talk about the Mall of America a lot, so I did some moderate digging. When I was on the can, I Googled it. The reviews aren't very good. Like if you look at the Mall of America reviews, they're concerning. They're concerning.
What do you mean?
If really?
Well, I don't know. It sounds like there's a lot of people. Sounds like it's its own metropolis city almost.
It is.
Like, is there a security there? Like,
there's a
safety
police
zone?
force.
Police
It
station.
is
Oh, okay.
the second largest FBI lab in the state. So I think I mentioned this before. Our state has like 5.5 or so million people. The Mall of America gets 40 million visitors a year.
Wow.
What locals go there? Are there locals that shop there? No.
No,
Oh, okay.
it's too big. It's not like an efficient or functional place
Yeah,
to
it's not
shop. I mean,
convenient. Like, I got to go get milk. You're not going to the mall.
yeah, it's a tourism destination.
Oh, okay.
But people like to go when they come. But
A lot of
got a
Canadians, I'm
specific
sure.
place.
A
Go
lot
ahead,
of Canadians go down from Winnipeg, especially. I remember when I lived there, tons. Yeah.
Our shopping malls are loitering events here.
Oh,
They're
Here too.
they don't
Phil,
put that here.
The shopping mall here I was talking about is called Chinook Mall, and it's got a police station right in there. And
Yeah. We have Bayshore and Rideau Center in Ottawa, and I'm not that comfortable when my son goes to buy jeans and things. I'm like, bring a friend if you don't mind. It's just it's just a place to hang out and be mischievous. I find if you're a silly person.
Yeah, they got the crackdown on that a handful of years ago, Josh. I don't remember at what age now. There's
16.
guards. Okay, so there's guards at every entrance of this mall now, and anybody under 16 is not allowed in after like 7 or 8 o'clock, or not
Without an,
Oh,
without
wow.
a parent.
Good.
without an adult. So
Good. I think they should do that with bars and clubs. 21, you can't go in, but I can drink. Well, go buy a bottle of beer and then go buy a 6-pack.
Nah. All right. We're going to get into some announcements, then we'll roll with this show. Jeremy wanted to give you a chance to give people that maybe are not familiar or just an update on a couple of the big initiatives that you have going on. Talk about your book, maybe the hobby spectrum, anything else that you're up to.
Sure, appreciate it. Yeah, my book, Pops and Comps, is this bad boy right here. 400 pages of hobby insights, truths, and that sort of thing around the numbers that drive the hobby, pops, populations, print runs, comps, and it's available on Amazon. It'll be available at my booth at the Sport Card Expo in Edmonton next weekend, Toronto, beginning of May, but it's on Amazon too. Canada, the States. I think you can order it from anywhere. So appreciate everyone who has, and it's been a great response so far. So there's that in the hobby spectrum. Hobbyspectrum.com is now open to the public. No more early access requirements. You can go to hobbyspectrum.com and take the assessment, which puts you into one of the archetypes, which identifies sort of your dominant hobby archetype as a collector on the collector investor spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
And what's really cool though, Josh and fellas, what we've done there is made it into like a discoverability platform where once you do the assessment, you can then fill out your profile, which includes all your social media links, your hobby platform links. If you've got a podcast like you all do, you can put a link to that. If you've been a guest on a podcast or a YouTube show, but you don't have your own, you can link to that so people can get to know you a little bit. You can now add up to 10 players that you collect to your profile. You can add 7 teams you collect, 7 sports you collect. And we are soon to be adding a whole bunch of preferences to really communicate to people what your hobby approach is and give a more contextualized profile in addition to your simple archetype or your dominant archetype, but more or less let people know more ways that you do collect. And it's a great way to find people who are similar to you. You want to search for people who collect Connor McDavid, you can do that and they will show up. So it's becoming a very versatile, powerful platform for discovery. And it's still in its infancy. Features are being added regularly. We've got over 1,000 people that have done it, taken the assessment. About 750 have opted into the public directory where you see all these profiles. And again, the preferences and the what I collect feature. So it's growing. It's fun. It's totally free. And it's something that, no one else is doing. Everyone in the hobby could use it and benefit from it. And so, yeah, grateful for the opportunity to talk about it, guys. And if you're not on there yet, check it out, hobbyspectrum.com.
Is there a chat feature? Like, what if I want to converse with an enemy or a friend?
you're always looking for enemies.
Yeah, great question. Great question, Phil. I early on kind of decided that it probably wouldn't be a good idea to compete with Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, all of these places where people already live. So it's more, I really come back to the word discovery. It's about it's about discovering people and then enabling us to use those platforms even better than we already are by communicating over there. So no, there's no DMing or posting or anything like that. No, not to say it'll never happen, but for now, it's really about, because you can kind of just surf the directory and see all the Instagram icons.
Okay.
So you'll see who has Instagram. Then you can learn, do they collect anything like
That's
what I do?
better. Yeah, that's
do they
better.
approach the hobby to any similar way that I do? And if they do, and you're interested in connecting, now you can go connect with them on the platforms that you're already using instead of another platform to communicate on.
Good
All
stuff.
right. Hobbyspectrum.com. Go do it if you haven't. It's free. It's awesome, and it's a resource that Jeremy's added to the hobby. So want to support any hobby entrepreneurism out there, and especially our good friend Jeremy Lee. So please check that out.
Thank you,
Philip,
guys.
anyone that hasn't seen Friday Nights with Phil, well, they've missed a lot, and they probably should go check it out. What do they have in store for them?
It was good. Last Friday was excellent. We had a couple of ladies from your home state, yours and Louis.
Aw.
They are called Wild Woman Show. All one word. They're on Instagram. They are they're new to kind of our hobby, but they're not new to hockey. They're big. They're a couple of ladies from two big hockey families, full-time workers, big families, but they're giving it their all. They love the sport of hockey and they like collecting. So we had them on. We asked them the hard-hitting questions. The very Dave and I we made the journalism community very proud. The hockey card journalism community. It's pretty much like 6 of us. And 4 of us are right here. That was good. It was great. There were lots of fun. Delaney and oh my goodness,
Rachel.
I forget. Thank you. That's so silly because I talked to so many women this weekend. I forgot. I didn't. Yeah, it was great. Dave showed cards. I showed cards. We shared some laughs, had some cries, and I had a great time. Just in case you're wondering.
Well, you can catch it on the Gong Show YouTube under the live tab or Friday Nights with Phil playlist. Lastly, but not leastly, before we get started, a reminder that our show, this show, the Hockey Cards Gongshow podcast, is a Patreon podcast. We do rely on the support of the good listener and the good watcher like yourself to help us cover our show expenses, produce more and better hockey card content, and then fun initiatives, even in a small way to grow the hobby. You can support us for as little as $5 a month, still be one of the first 999 supporters of our show, get the Future Watch Gonger title. You get access to our community, 420 plus strong now. All the stuff we're doing there. There's a scavenger hunt going on, something for the playoffs we'll be doing where we're giving away hobby boxes to the winner. You can see our Discord exclusive show with our good buddy IFC, a.k.a. Expo Mom, a.k.a. Neil. Yeah, there every week. It's getting better and better, has a great show. And just meet people and develop new relationships and friendships within the hobby. If you want to support us, go to our website, hockeycardsgongshow.com, click on the Become a Patron link at the top of the page, or go to Patreon directly, patreon.com, and search for us at Hockey Cards Gong Show. There's a link in the show description, both YouTube and podcast apps, and our Instagram, TikTok profiles too. Baba Louie, we have one new patron since our last show that we want to give a shout out to.
We do. We have Caming.
Is it
Sure.
gaming, but with a K? Caming? We're proclaiming gaming.
Yeah. So whatever it is, we
Thank
said
you.
it every way. So hopefully we got it once at least. Okay, Louie, what's the game plan?
The game plan is starting off with get to know your Hall of Famers. After that, it's the weekly 7. Then we get into some hobby news. Jeremy, don't forget your part there when we start. Then it's deep thoughts with Jeremy Lee. Different
Whoa, whoa,
show.
whoa. I wasn't told there was this segment. This
We're
You
getting
ready to
deep,
cry,
boys.
Phil?
Then new product releases. We'll get into the Gong Show mailbag and follow up with personal pickups.
Thank you, Baba Louie. Ready to roll with this Gong Show, starting with the Get to Know Your Hall of Famers series. We are profiling every hockey Hall of Fame player. We started with the very first Hall of Fame class in 1945 and have since been working our way to the present day. For each player, we do a quick bio, cover why you should care about them, then take a look at their hobby market. Today's Hall of Famer is Gordon Roberts. Anyone? Jeremy, you familiar with Gordon Roberts?
I am briefly, vaguely familiar with Gordon Roberts. Yes,
I am not. Nothing.
Well,
only because he's a Hall of Famer, and I used to pursue the full Hall of Fame hockey checklist, which I no longer do. So he's no longer on my want list. But yes, I'm familiar.
He's probably from Ottawa with my luck. So
Well, we'll see. Gordon William Doc Roberts lived from 1891 until passing away at the age of 74 in 1966. He was born in Ottawa, Ontario.
there you go. Yeah, there you go.
But died in Oakland, California. Doc was a left shot, left wing, played at 5'11", 180 pounds. Pretty big cat for the time. And during a career that lasted from 1909 until 1920, Gordon played for 4 teams. Take notes, Louis. The Ottawa Hockey Club, Montreal Wanderers, Vancouver Millionaires, and Seattle Metropolitans.
I have not
Roberts-
put the Seattle Metropolitans on my top 78 favorite team list.
Okay, great. Oh, good. Got it. It's a living list, Louis. Roberts won a Stanley Cup with Ottawa in 1910. Career spanned both the National Hockey Association, or the NHA, and the PCHA, the Pacific Coast Hockey Association. He was a pure goal scorer. Check this out. Between the two leagues, he scored 203 goals in 170 games, while also playing a little rough, 310 penalty minutes. So there you go. Why you should care about Gordon Roberts. Doc Roberts, again, was born in Ottawa in 1891, grew up in a big family, became a standout multi-sport athlete before hockey became his main path. Before turning pro, he lit up Ottawa amateur hockey and led the Ottawa City Hockey League in 1908-09 with 19 goals and just 6 games for the Emmets. You ever play for the Emmets, Phil?
I don't even know how to spell that.
Emmitts, I guess.
It was rhetorical.
Oh, sorry. He jumped into the professional ranks in 1909 with the Ottawa Hockey Club while still only 18, making him one of the youngest players in top-level senior hockey at the time. Roberts made an immediate impact in Ottawa, scoring 13 goals in 9 NHA games after the club shifted into the new league structure. One of his earliest signature moments came in the 1910 Stanley Cup Challenge against Edmonton when he scored 4 goals in the first game and was praised as Ottawa's star. He followed that up with 2 more goals in the second game, giving him 7 goals in the 2-game challenge, helping Ottawa successfully defend the Stanley Cup. Well, now why scoring 7 goals in 2 games is important is because remember, during that time, they played a 2-game series, and the team with the most goals over those span won the Stanley Cup. So
that's so silly. Why? I get it. The club team and the whole. What other is golf? Golf is kind of like that, isn't it? Is golf like that? You accumulate the score over. Yeah, that's silly.
Kind of before wins and losses became something, I suppose.
I guess, yeah. Even while already proving he could dominate as a pro, Roberts had bigger ambitions off the ice and enrolled at McGill University to study medicine. Because he was in Montreal for school, he joined the Montreal Wanderers and continued playing high-end hockey while trying to juggle one of the toughest academic programs around. He also played lacrosse while at McGill, showing hockey was only part of much broader athletic life. Roberts did not have an easy road through medical school. He reportedly failed his second year and had to complete an extra year, which made his eventual success even more impressive. Not sure I'd want to know that headed into the doctor's office. I failed the second year of med school, but eventually they slid me through. Instead of letting that setback derail him, he kept starring for the Wanderers and developing into one of the NHA's most dangerous scorers. After a pair of 16-goal seasons, he exploded for 31 goals in 1913-14, finishing second in the league, scoring, and confirming he was among hockey's elite forwards. His 1913-14 season also earned him all-star recognition, showing his reputation among observers matched the production on the score sheet. Roberts stayed near the top again in 14-15 with 29 goals, proving his big scoring year was not a fluke. Teammates and observers raved about his shot, which later accounts described as one of the hardest and most deceptive in hockey during the 1910s. Some contemporaries even credit Roberts as an early master and possibly an inventor of the quote-unquote curved shot, a remarkable reputation in an era long before modern stick technology. In 1916, he graduated from McGill as a physician, which is at the heart of the Doc nickname and one of the most unusual accomplishments for any star player of his era. Rather than leaving hockey behind once he became a doctor, Roberts kept playing at a top level while beginning his medical career, making him one of the sport's great dual career stories. He moved west and joined the Vancouver Millionaires, where his game reached another peak in the Pacific Coast Hockey Association. In 1916-17, Roberts led the PCHA in scoring with 43 goals in 23 games and was named a league all-star left wing, one of the finest seasons of his career. His medical work then took him to Seattle, and because of that move, he played 1917-18 season with the Seattle Metropolitans. After that season, he stepped away from hockey to focus on medicine in British Columbia, showing, unlike many stars, he had a full professional life waiting for him beyond the rink. Vancouver later pulled him back for one more run in 1919-20, and even after time away, he still scored 16 goals in 22 games. When he retired for good in 1920, he walked away not because the game had passed him by, but because medicine had become his life's work. Roberts later did postgraduate medical study in New York, turned down chances to return to hockey and even other sports roles, taught for a time at Stanford University Hospital, then settled in Oakland as an obstetrician for more than 40 years. That unusual blend of elite scorer, Stanley Cup hero, league scoring champion, and longtime physician is a huge reason why he was posthumously inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame in 1971. Kind of interesting story.
Yeah.
Very interesting. It's the curved stick that made him stand out, maybe.
Yeah, there's a lot about his shot. Like his shot, what they said was not only the hardest, but it bent and curved in ways that other players couldn't do it, and just scored a lot of goals, I guess. Looking briefly at the Gordon Roberts hobby market. So there's a card in the first 3 hockey sets. His rookie card is from the 1910 C56 set, which of course is the very first hockey card set, card number 3. PSA 8 we're showing on YouTube, highest public seller, having sold for $9,600 US in April of 2022. Then you have a Doc Roberts, of course, in the 1911 C55 set, card number 33. Looks like he had big years. The PSA 6 highest seller, having sold for $900 US in July of 2022. Then, of course, the last Playing Days card for Roberts would be in the 1912 C57 set, card number 23. Highest seller is this PSA 2.5, sold for $530 US in January of 2025. And then beyond that, you'd have to go to the 1985 Cardophilium set to find any card for, it doesn't look like him, really. Based on the picture we just saw, it's like his hair changed color or something. For Roberts card, it's card number 222. And raw copies are a couple bucks. But that, boys, is your Hockey Hall of Famer, Gordon Doc Roberts.
Good job, Joshua.
Last one from 1971. Now you get into 1972. I was looking today, and you get some really big names. It's like, I think
We'll recognize them more.
like really big names coming up. And
I swear I know hockey. Yeah, this segment definitely makes me feel insignificant in that category.
yeah, definitely. Okay. It's time for the weekly 7, where we talk about stories around the NHL that can also have an impact, of course, in the hobby. We pick 4, 7 stories or topics, and then we have a little discussion around them.
Let's skate on over to the NHL.
Has it flown under the radar for you guys at all, like how good Nikita Kucherov has been since particularly the beginning of 2026?
A lot of buzz. His name just keeps popping up and popping up. I feel like people are trying to elevate him. Not that he needs any help. He's clearly a phenomenal player.
When you say people, do you mean NHL commentators or hobby commentators?
I just definitely not hobby. I'm feeling like the flavor of the end of the year is Kucherov. There's going to be more player profiles. There's going to be more buzz. It's going to be a hot take to pick one of the world's greatest players. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I feel it. I'm feeling it. The environment is talking about him more.
Yeah.
In a recent 33-game stretch, he had 75 points and was the first player to accomplish that since Mario Lemieux back in the 90s. So, again, on an incredible heater, and he's currently second in the NHL in points in 67 games played, has 40 goals, 81 assists for 121 point total, only behind McDavid's 124 points. He's almost averaging 2 points a game this year. For Kucherov, it's his 4th consecutive season now with at least 110 points.
Shut up. No, it's not.
Yeah.
What? That's criminal that we don't who else has done that? Gretzky, like a lot.
The list is pretty small at this point. And once again, we're in a heart race that's likely going to come down. It seems like every year, last few years, it's been Kucherov, McDavid, and McKinnon, with McDavid and McKinnon getting most of the headlines. But to your point, Phil, there's a lot of articles out there trying to remind people about Kucherov as maybe the forgotten man. And there is a case to be made that he does deserve the Hart at this point. A couple of stats that people are throwing out, or different writers and analysts. He has a plus 43 goal differential at 5-on-5 since November 15th, which is the best in the NHL. He's something like 45 points ahead of Tampa Bay's second leading scorer in the team leaderboard there. And if you're an analytics nerd, he's second in net rating, only behind McKinnon, and then one spot ahead of McDavid. Now, Kucherov did win the Hart in 2019, won the Ted Lindsay that year as well, and also won the Ted Lindsay last year. So I always think it's really weird in the NHL when you have one person winning the Hart Trophy and another person winning the Ted Lindsay, because the Ted Lindsay is basically the MVP, but voted on by the players. And that's one thing I've really noticed about Kucherov in the last week, reading a ton of articles, is the players praise this guy endlessly. It's almost like they know something we don't. And the consensus that I picked up was that he doesn't have the blinding speed of Connor McDavid, or maybe some of the tantalizing skill of Nathan McKinnon, but that he is an elite player. He just does it in a different way, maybe a more subtle way. And kind of, I mean, as nauseating as it sounds, it's like he seems to be the master of hockey IQ and always in the right place at the right time. So I don't know. Will he win it? Who knows? But it just seems like, to your point, Phil, and Jeremy, I think you said a little bit too, that the accolades and production to this point is just absurd and consistent. And it would be nice if the hobby started to care too.
I don't think it will.
The problem he has hobby-wise is, well, twofold. Number one, he plays in Tampa, which has had great players over the years, but not a ton of hobby level, although there are some great Tampa collectors in the community. And then also just his personality. He's not very outgoing. He doesn't really have any charisma. It doesn't seem like when he's in interviews. But what I heard, speaking to what you said, Josh, how he's not like the best at anything, but he's like the second best at everything. And I just read, you might have read this too or heard this, but I recently saw some sort of profile on him, and I won't get this exactly right, but the gist of it was that he is a hockey nerd, and he studies hockey and tape constantly, and he studies the other team's defenders to see what they will do so that he can dance around them and make moves to put him and his teammates in scoring position. And that is when I think you said, Josh, hockey IQ through the roof. It's not because he has it naturally. It doesn't seem like. It seems to be he studies the opposition. He works really hard at his craft, and it's paid off for him on the score sheet. Maybe not with the public accolades, but I think you guys are right, and I think he's been overlooked for a long time. And I think it comes back to those first 2 points that I made. But maybe this will be a coming out year for him, when it comes to being recognized. And then the difference between the Hart and the Lindsay is, like, the Hart gets all the attention, but to me the Lindsay is the more accurate.
Should be more.
It should mean more. I would trust players to assess their competition versus the media. 95% of which never played hockey, professionally anyway. So I think that Lindsay is an underrated, underappreciated award in the at the end of the year.
But when Kucherov isn't playing, his team still wins. Like, if you look at the games he's missed, they pretty sure the record is heavily in the favor of still winning. So I understand. I thought the meaning of the Hart is, regardless the Lindsay or whoever votes it, the purpose of it is that your team struggles without you. Am I looking at that wrong? Because I've never heard it described as your team struggles without you. I've heard it being described most valuable to your team, and I guess the opposite of that might be what you said, but I don't know. I mean, the Hart Trophy is considered by the public to be the MVP. It's considered to be and there's so much attention on MVPs right now as far as looking at cards and players and GOATs and all that the Hart Trophy is the MVP in the eyes of the hobby community, not the Lindsay, even though it probably should be, but that doesn't change what you're saying, I don't think. And the acronym MVP is most valuable player. The most valuable player to what? To your team, I thought. To the league. So, it's a league award. It's a league award. So MVP, it's given. Otherwise there'd be 32 of them.
I think most teams do have a team MVP. It's just not publicized outside beyond the team. So,
then I would have looked at other players if that was the case. If he's the most valuable player in the entire league, I'd say probably. It's up for debate, but he's up there. Yes.
Tampa Bay is currently 1-3-1 without Kucherov in the lineup this season.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Who's the loss with? Or who's the win? I know that answer.
Well, the other question is how many games has he missed? How many games did he miss in each of the last 3 seasons? I mean, he seems to play quite a bit.
I can go back farther.
He was hurt the whole 2020 shortened season, and then I think a little bit of the next year, but he's played pretty consistently since there. Getting back to the hobby, though, actually, there's something kind of interesting, and that really doesn't happen very often. So if you look at his Young Guns as a market barometer, he's a 2013-14 Young Guns. The PSA 10 pop is 577, so it wasn't printed nearly as much, the product back in 2013. 52% jam rate, last sold for $1,259 US on March 25th. It's up 40% in the past month, up 124% in the past 3 months. This is the 52-week high, and the 52-week low is 400. So we've been sharing this lately, Jeremy. The spreads in a year between a Young Guns are insane, right? It's literally a third is the low. But here's the interesting part. 1,259 is the all-time record sale for a Nikita Kucherov Young Guns PSA 10. And for a 12-year-old Young Guns, you don't see that very often because typically these cards set records right at the beginning when the hobby type is crazy, or during the 2020 stay-at-home period. There was a lot of records being set, but I don't know, maybe the hobby's catching on. And if you look at the second highest sale, it was 10 days earlier than that. So there is a little bit of a run on Kucherov right now.
Yeah, and the run is probably because of his performance. It'll calm down. That value, I don't think those values will sustain, because the hobby doesn't only run on in-game performance and accolades. It runs on this intangible thing out there called hobby love. There's a chapter in Pops and Comps called Hobby Love, and Kucherov doesn't get it.
No.
A lot of teams don't get any. The Carolina Hurricanes, no hobby love. There's and they're not the only ones. So I think that's what's been lacking with him. I think it comes back down to charisma or lack thereof. Even though I have seen pictures of him with the Stanley Cup, shirt off, partying, having a great time. I bet he's a lot of fun with his teammates, but his public persona doesn't seem to be consistent with that.
He's a little aloof. He had the weird All-Star game thing where he kind of mailed it in. And so, I just don't think that there's that great public connection. Okay, we're going to move on to the second topic. This part of the season is these last 10 games or so, from a hockey hobby standpoint, gets very interesting because we start to see spring rookie debuts. And why these are important is that these are the guys that will become, because of the NHL and Upper Deck's rule about having to skate in an NHL game and needing time to get the images for their rookie cards and their Young Guns. These are the guys that will become what we call the holdover rookies, or the Young Guns in Series 1, that will come out right around the time of the Fall Expo. And we've had some notable debuts in the past week and even some signings today. Like I noticed the Flyers signed Porter Martone, who I think his hockey team just lost, so he'll probably be making his debut soon. Doesn't mean he will be a Series 1 Young Gun, but these debuts make you eligible to be one. A couple of big names, though, so far that are already playing is maybe the biggest would be Anton Frundell, who's an 18-year-old forward for the Blackhawks. Was playing in the playoffs in the SHL, the Swedish Hockey League, last Saturday. His team was eliminated. Then he got the call to report to Chicago. Made his debut last Tuesday in the Blackhawks' 4-3 win over the Islanders. If you're not familiar, Frundell was the third overall pick in last summer's NHL draft. So far, he has 2 assists in 3 games played with the Hawks. And this past season, he had 20 goals and 28 points in 43 games played, was a plus 15 in Sweden's top league. And so who knows? He could be maybe one of the bigger, if not the big chase for Series 1.
How do you quantify who the biggest star that debuted is this past week? How do you quantify that, Matt? Again?
Hype. It's all hype.
You have a hype meter over there in Minnesota?
Yeah. See it?
Well, if you live in Ottawa, no one knows who Anton Frundell is. But we do know who Carter Yakimchuk is. So you keep going.
Yeah, well, we'll get to it. Just hold your horses. Hold your horses.
I'm sure he's dead last. No doubt in my mind.
He's a defenseman, isn't he?
Yes. Yeah. Thank you, Jeremy, my fellow Canadian.
I will get to him. So don't worry.
At least he's on your list. That's good.
Yes.
Right on. He's probably last, though, like I said.
He's not last. Okay. He's not second, though. Second is Cole Hudson. We are in an American Brothers revolution in the NHL. We have the Hughes Bros. We have the Tkachuks. And now we have the Hudsons.
Nothing
Cole
will beat the
Hudson.
Sutters. Right, Jeremy? The Sutter
Yeah.
brothers? What's that, 6 kids? Nothing
Yeah.
will beat it.
But honestly,
know.
Phil, every name that Josh just listed is better than the worst of those guys
I
is
know.
better than the best Sutter,
Yeah.
I mean,
I
was
think
it
they
Brent
just-
Sutter?
the last-
Brent Sutter was okay with the Islanders. After that, it was a big drop off.
I think they just rifled most of the family through to have a cool stat in our books,
Yeah.
Maybe.
No offense to the family.
Maybe that's why you guys didn't win gold. You're not focused on brothers enough there in Canada. Maybe
Yeah,
that's the
Could
key.
be. Could be.
Cole Hudson is the younger brother of Shimmy Shakes. Just made his debut. He was a second-round pick by the Capitals in 2024 when Cole's Boston University team lost in the Hockey East tournament a couple weeks ago. Washington signed the 19-year-old to a 3-year deal. As a defenseman, he led the Terriers in points this past season, already making an impact with 1 goal and 3 points in 5 games played. If you compare, I did a little research comparing who's better at what. And Lane is considered more dynamic with a more, I guess, elite skill set. Cole's a little bit bigger, stronger, has a harder shot, but both do have star level offensive upside. So, and again, I think just because of the name factor, if he's in Series 1, he'll be a chase.
Yeah. And he's Washington, right?
Yeah, Capitals.
Yeah.
So
Kind of cool playing with Ovi.
Oh, definitely. Next is, to Phil's giant surprise, Carter Yakimchuk. Now, your Sens they had a splashy debut with Carter Phillip. He's a big kid. Holy cow, 6'3", 210.
Yeah, it's a big lad.
Seventh overall pick in 2024 draft. Spent most of this past season in the AHL. Had 10 goals and 26 points in 36 games, or 10 goals and 36 points in 50 games played. Was a minus 30 though in 50 games played.
Team
That's not
stat.
good.
Team stat.
Okay. Was Allmark playing goalie for the AHL too?
I think his little brother was. Yeah, listen, Calgary Hitmen. Jeremy should know all about Yakimchuk.
I don't. I apologize.
I
I just.
I don't know any 67s currently either. So, yeah, there you go.
Well, Carter's got a goal and assist in 3 games played so far for the Senators, which of course is pretty good out of the gate. What's your scouting report, Phil? Is he gonna take over Jake Sanderson as your top defenseman on the team, or what's gonna happen?
No, they can share that. No one's going to beat my Jakey Poo, but Carter Yakimchuk is definitely a pivotal piece on the journey of Stanley Cup. And I think Nick Jensen. Well, I don't think I know. Jensen got hurt, and we've been very, very careful not to bring up Yakimchuk or fast track his development. Ottawa has a nasty stain on its history called Curtis Lazar, and we just called him up. We're just being very careful. We called up that young man way too much, put way too much pressure on him a few years back. So I think the organization is being very careful. I even think they were a little hesitant to call him up now because they want him to develop into exactly what they want. His offensive skill is top tier. That's not usually a problem for people that don't click in the NHL. It's not the skill, it's the intangibles. And you said it yourself, minus 30. Maybe there's something to work on there. Team stat as well. His back play, obviously he's a defenseman. His back play has increased incredibly. And he passes the eye test like you wouldn't believe. And I do want to say there was a lot of, even me, I wanted Yakimchuk, but like when you have Zane Parekh, Ziv Buam, Jet Lichenko, when those pieces are still on the board and you went Carter Yakimchuk from the WHL, which generally, no offense, Jeremy, kind of draft a little further in, maybe it's not as high caliber. That's what the rumor is anyways. It was a bit of a surprising pick. I was ecstatic. I know that was silly. We probably should have gotten Ziv Buam or Zane Parekh. But I guess the scouts knew what they were doing. And Yakimchuk he's a big ginger. He has a lot of poise. He's very stoic. He's phenomenal with the puck. And his defense looks pretty good. So I'm pretty excited, man. I think he's here for the rest of the year. He as a man's body in a kid's age, he definitely should stay up here from the last 2 games I've seen him play.
It is.
So,
go ahead, Jeremy.
If I just may, because you really lost me on one thing you said there, Phil, earlier on when you said on like the journey to the Stanley Cup. Are you talking about the Ottawa Senators?
I sure am, Jeremy Lee. I sure am. You be quiet. What? Calgary's not doing anything.
That's This has nothing to do with the Flames. I mean,
I know I'm deflecting. I'm trying to deflect.
Yeah, he's like the Wild. The journey ends in the first round, probably. But
Well, we have to
it's
make
still
it to the
journey.
first round first after 2 days lost ago. And how does Detroit keep winning? It doesn't make sense. How does such a piece of crap team keep winning? Anyway, sorry, I don't want to talk about this.
It is interesting, the kind of two lines of thought that are emerging in the NHL now, though, where we have some teams that are rushing players right out of the draft we're seeing more and more 18, 19-year-olds even go from the draft to starting the season and playing the whole year with their team. And then you've got the Yakimchuk instances. I just saw like that Boston signed James Higgins, who was the captain of Team USA in the World Juniors, to an AHL contract. He'll start in the AHL. And it kind of makes you wonder at a certain level. I'll admit that it's like, well, when they don't go right to the NHL, and then you're thinking, well, what's the problem? Why are they not Macklin Celebrini ready to compete at the NHL level? But maybe it is best for them just to play a year in the AHL and get some professional hockey under their belt.
I think that's where we should put the word generational talent. People are using that way too much. If you can jump to the NHL, if you're 18 years old and you can compete against a 30-year-old, I finished puberty 100% grown professional athlete, you're a generational talent.
This makes no sense. I mean, doesn't a generational talent mean that once per generation? Is that, I mean, I'm just trying to, because what are the guidelines on generational talent? Shouldn't it be once every 20 years?
10.
Okay, fine. 10. Even every 10 years. Yeah, every 10 years. So you go Crosby, McDavid, Bedard, or Celebrini, and that's it. We don't. There cannot be another one for another 8 years.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I'd put Celebrini more so as a generational talent so far.
Right now, yeah.
I don't know. I think
Bedard,
we got a
100%.
We got a 2-for-1 with Crosby Ovi. I mean, we got lucky there, I think.
But that's only one can be the. Yeah, I'm just nitpicking on the term, but I know we use a lot of terms loosely.
Okay, I got an idea. Let's make it plural and add an S. Generational talents.
Goat, just like goat. There's goats. Yeah, fair.
Goats. Yeah, no, greatest of all time.
It's a fantastic point, Jeremy, and I think that where you're pointing out is the fatal flaw of prospecting. Yeah. Is that rookies come out and everyone assumes they're the next Mario Lemieux. And the thing, and we've been talking about this a lot over the past couple of months, that the key characteristic of a superstar is consistency. And very few players, you can have Alex DeBrincat is going to scored 40 goals this year. It's an awesome year. He cannot do it 8 years in a row.
He'll never do it again.
Like a Alex Ovechkin or a Sidney Crosby or some other elite level goal scorer. And the league is littered with those people, but collectors, they'll hold on with a death grip to the idea that their player will, there's some people that think that Laffy is going to still be a superstar and figure it out 7 years into the bit, or 6 years, whatever it is. So yeah, you're right. Generational player. It's once, you're lucky if you get once we got 2005, 2015, maybe 2016 with Austin Matthews, depending on that one's debatable.
No, debatable. You do not. No one even not. No, that's don't even go there. You don't say that, and that's unfortunate for me because people are like, "Oh, Phil's picking on him." He's not. He's an amazing, great player. No, stop, man. McDavid in the last 10 years. That's it. There's nobody else.
Well, and where he's more generational is the consistency.
Say Kane's more generational as an American player than Matthews.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, agreed.
All right, to round this out, just have one more, and it's actually a team. The Rangers have had the worst season pretty much ever for them, and they threw in the towel, of course, on a terrible year, and have since been rolling out the kids. So there's been, if you're a Rangers fan, I think there'll be quite a few young guns for you to chase next year. We've had the debut of Adam Sikora. He's a 21-year-old Slovakian, drafted in the second round of 2022. He's not related to Peter Sikora. I had to look that up right away. But does have a goal already. Drew Fortescue, a third-round defenseman, just finished his season at Boston College. And then a goalie, Dylan Garand, I think is how you say it, who is a fourth-round pick in 2020, 23-year-old, has been playing with the Hartford Wolfpack in the AHL for the past couple of years. So, and we'll see some more debuts. But this is kind of, if you are a prospector, if you like to forecast who the young guns will be, it's a fun time of year to do that. Okay. Next topic in the Weekly 7. I feel like the proverbial gloves are coming off for our guy Connor McDavid, and I like it. In the past 2 weeks, I've become more of a Connor McDavid fan than I think I've ever been before. He seems just irritated, and I love to see a little bit of passion out of it. The robot that just has all the right answers in the press conferences. It seems like he's throwing that out the window a little bit. There was the pillow fight talk last week when he was talking about his own division. Then he was asked about Tampa Bay's coach John Cooper and kind of went off and maybe threw some shade at his own coach in his response. And when the Lightning beat the Oilers recently, he praised Cooper's system, calling the team perfectly coached, that they have a great system. They know what they're doing all over the ice. It's impressive. They're a great team, extremely well coached, extremely well organized, blah, blah, blah. And then he was asked, well, how do the Oilers replicate some of this? And he basically said, well, you should go talk to our coach about that.
I love that too. Yeah, he's talking his way out of Edmonton, maybe.
I don't know, but it just seems like it's, and for
He's
again a
given
guy
enough.
like
He's given
Kucherov,
enough. Come on.
who has never been able to connect with fans, at least this hockey fan, I'm connecting to it now because I love to see the passion. I love, he's 10 years in and he's sick of losing. He had the Players Tribune article right before the Olympics about how he wants to win. And I think it's good for the hobby. He's a human being. We're not seeing the robot anymore.
I just think those comments like, oh, he wants to win. Very few professional athletes don't want to win. So, but he's special because he's Connor McDavid. But yeah, he's in a system that hasn't been able to win since the 80s, really. Did they win the cup? No, they lost to Carolina back in like 05 or whatever it was. So I don't know. I just so what that you want to win, Connor McDavid? Who doesn't want to win? But are you going to talk your way out of Edmonton to go win? Because that's what's going to happen. Because Tristan Jarry is going to make sure you don't win. And you look at that roster. I mean, it's a joke. That team's a joke. They have Bouchard, McDavid, and Draisaitl when he's healthy. That's it. I mean, Nuge has to get some credit too, but I feel bad for McDavid. I don't feel bad for him because he wants to win and he's not winning. I just feel bad because he is the face of the league, and I feel bad for the hobby as well. It's like Austin Matthews we were just talking about, and you think about cards and like, when do you kind of give up and sell cards because you might not want to hold on to them anymore? And Austin Matthews cards, I mean, as soon as he gets traded from Toronto and goes somewhere else, I think people are going to be in for a world of hurt that are holding his cards. It almost doesn't matter where he goes after that. Same with McDavid. I mean, you spend so long with these teams. I think people want to see these guys win with the team that they're with now. Collectors, hobbyists, owners of their cards, investors, if you will, want to see them win where they are, not somewhere else.
Do you think it'll ever happen, Jeremy? Do you think a couple ever come to Edmonton? Just a guess.
No, I used to. I don't think they're going to win. No, that team, Tristan Jarry. That's all you need to know, Phil, is that's what they did. You've got McDavid and Draisaitl and Bouchard in their primes, and you go and you get Tristan Jarry, and you think that you're going to win the Stanley Cup. Now Skinner's the better goalie. I mean, it's idiotic the way they're doing it there. And I don't know if it's because the players like Bouchard, McDavid, Draisaitl all being paid too much, even though I know McDavid's taking a discount compared to like a Kaprizov sort of thing. Like, are they just handcuffing themselves from being able to build around that core and win a Stanley Cup? It's the same thing in Toronto. They're never going to win a Stanley Cup in Toronto with the team the way it is. Matthews will never win a Stanley Cup in Toronto. McDavid, I don't think, is ever going to win a Stanley Cup in Edmonton at this point. And I wish they would both win them where they are.
Can I ask you a question about the vibe and the culture out there in the West Coast? Because I'm out here in Ottawa. Is Stan Bowman, is that a bit, sometimes when a GM just overstays his welcome, are his cups in Chicago is that giving him a false sense of him doing good at his job? Is there
I think the Oilers are always have a false sense of their management being good at their job, and they haven't been ever since it became the old boys club.
Kevin
there,
Lowe, like good old boys club.
Yeah, I mean, since Glenn Sather was there, really, and even then, they had a gift in the name of Wayne Gretzky, and an amazing supporting cast. They've just never had that since then. It's not going to happen. The Oilers will not. You heard it here first. They will not win a cup with McDavid, and the Leafs will not win a cup with Matthews. They don't even make the playoffs with Matthews. The Leafs are they're a disaster of a team, and the Oilers are almost a complete disaster of a team.
I missed you cut out on that first part. What'd you say about the Leafs? I didn't hear you. It's so good. It's the biggest piece of crap human trait of me is how good I feel when they do bad. And
it's a rivalry. I don't like the Packers.
It's okay, but you know what, Phil? Like as a collector, as a hobbyist, who someone wants to see the hobby do well, McDavid winning in Edmonton would be great. And even as a Flames fan, I'm for that. I would like to see that. Same with Matthews in Toronto, but I don't know. Now it seems like Nyes is the best player there.
He's good. I like him.
I don't know what Nylander's up to. Marner would have been the best player on that team, but he left. Smart guy.
I thought he was going to have a better year. I really thought Marner was going to be like top 5 in the league, and
he's not having a bad year though, right? I mean, he's doing.
No, he's not having a bad. I thought he was going to have his best year ever. Maybe I should have clarified.
The one thing I should have pointed out, along with the wanting to win from the Players Tribune, which is probably more important to your point, Jeremy, is that he said in his own words, he understands that for his legacy, he has to win a Stanley Cup. He knows that.
I'm so glad he does. I'm so glad he understands that, and we want him to as a hobby.
Need him to. Yeah, it would be because, and I get crap for it all the time, and people get very mad at me, especially that I have big McDavid cards, but I'll die on the hill that he won't be at the Wayne Gretzky, Mario Lemieux level all time with no Stanley Cups.
He's not there. He's not. I mean, he might be. People love to say he's the best player of all time. He's the most skilled player of all time. Maybe, but that's not enough to be on the Mount Rushmore. The Mount Rushmore is all encompassing, and right now that is made up of Gordie Howe, Bobby Orr, Wayne Gretzky, and Mario Lemieux. And if you want to put a fifth head on there, which I think you should at this point, it's Sidney Crosby. There's nobody else that supplants Sidney Crosby. It's not Alex Ovechkin is not there. Love him. I love Ovi. You put Ovi's personality inside of Nikita Kucherov, we might be having a whole different conversation about that fifth spot or the sixth, let's say, or the Kucherov versus McKinnon sort of thing and McDavid. But it's Crosby's the fifth guy on the mount, and it's not McDavid. He's knocking on the door, but he's 2 cups away, and he's never going to get them.
He's tapping lightly right now. I don't even feel like the knock is firm. I mean, you gotta really knock hard, man. Come on.
All right.
I mean, if have to go to a different team to do so.
Like he did have the Four Nations golden goal, which was great, right? Like that was, or he set up Marner, I think, for that one, right?
He scored the goal.
Marner set him up then. Yeah. And had the Canadians won the Olympics, and especially if he was in on that goal, because didn't he still win the MVP of the whole tournament as a loser? That's the stupidest thing too. Like giving the Conn Smythe to someone on the losing team is a travesty.
Insult to injury, I believe.
It's kind of rubbing it in to him at this point. It feels like that he always wins the MVP, but never the
right.
Shows you who's organizing these things. Didn't no skin in the game there, maybe.
It's frustrating.
Right, to close out the McDavid conversation is a 2015-16 Young Guns PSA 10 pop, 3,249, 42% gem rate. Last sold for $3,060 US on March 26th, up 9% in the past month, up 10% in the past 3 months. 52-week high, pretty close to that right now. 52-week high is $33.89. 52-week low is $19.50 US dollars. Next topic. Seeing more, like with Kucherov, I'm seeing more and more articles about the notion that it might be time for a defensive defenseman award in the NHL. And this past week, The Athletic had a great article, and they really keyed on Mo Seider as a great example of someone, a player who is at the apex of the league from the defensive standpoint at that position. But it's just not offensively focused enough to ever really have a chance to win the Norris Trophy. And Seider's currently second in the NHL in defensive rating at plus 9.6. Issa Lindell is another guy who currently tops the NHL at 10.3. And, I think that there's real momentum around this. And so if you look at the top 10 blue liners in defensive rating, you have Lindell, Sider, Artem Zub, Jake Sanderson, two Senators there, JJ Moser, Jonas Brodin, Shea Theodore, Miro Heiskanen, Cale Makar, and Brayden McNabb. And of those 10, really Heiskanen and Makar probably are only two names you could ever realistically see being top Norris contenders. And because it's basically an offensive award at this point, who has the most goals and points. I know that's an oversimplification, but I also think it's kind of true.
It's accurate.
really.
It's accurate.
Yeah. And there's also this divergence in the position, like these Makars and Quinn Hughes, they're kind of more the fourth forward at this point in the game of hockey, more just as much as a defenseman. And so, but here's the fun part of the conversation. So if the league came out and said, we're going to create a defensive defenseman award, who should they name it after? I have three ideas, but I want to, so I'll throw out my three just as a conversation. I had Larry Robinson, Serge Savard, and Nicholas Lidstrom. Do you like any of those names, or do you have any other candidates you throw in there?
I feel like Jeremy has more of a say.
Well,
I'm going to say Larry Robinson.
The problem with Nick Lidstrom is that he could also win the offensive. So theoretically, the same defenseman could win both unless they just disallow that. But the Norris Trophy has been a misdirected trophy for so long because what are we recognizing here? Defensive play or offense? There are offensive play. It's an argument that there should be no defensemen at all because they're not valued. Like, just put a bunch of offensive-minded players out there, because obviously the public, the writers, don't really value the defensive defenseman, and they should, because the goalie needs defensemen to help him out.
I like the idea of being able to win both, because to me, like, if you can sweep both the offensive award and the defensive award, that really elevates you to that ultra
Shohei Ohtani sort of status. You become Shohei Ohtani at that point.
Every year it'll just be Cale Makar, runner-up, Quinnesota. I want to add something. You're don't have
one guy, Schaefer.
Yes, he's ours. He's our Canadian golden boy. I know, man. So in 2012 or 13, I think it's 2012, Erik Karlsson won the Norris.
Yeah.
That was my first, I had to look inward for that. I was like, no, come on. Like, and Erik Karlsson's one of the top two greatest hockey players I've ever seen. Peak Erik Karlsson. I've never seen a player play like that and bend the game to his will on the ice. But I have to be honest, he wasn't the most defensively sound type of player, and he was little. He got, I wouldn't say manhandled, but he got pushed off the puck. You know, he was a honey badger to get it back. Don't get me wrong. His skill came into play, and he was very good with his body. He knew what angles to cut and whatnot. But when it comes to strictly defensive defensemen, Erik Karlsson would have never won any Norris, and he's won 3 of them. Now, I don't have much to say about his third one. I didn't watch San Jose that much, but I am a total biased, unreasonable Ottawa Senators fan, and I'm admitting that's silly. Yeah. That was silly, you know?
So who do you guys name it after? If you had to pick one player to name this award
Doug
after?
Harvey, maybe, Jeremy? I guess that's my respectful pick. My of course, I'm going 2 Habs, but
the problem is the defensive defensemen's names just don't pop into your mind as readily as the offensive defenseman names do. But I don't think Serge Savard is the guy, but maybe I don't know.
Well, he wouldn't like that. He'd be like,
yeah. When I was looking at like Reddit and other online forums, it seems like Lidstrom and Larry Robinson were the names that on this topic that came up the most.
But I mean, Larry Robinson makes some sense to me. Lidstrom, I just think of Lidstrom as, he like great on both ends. Yeah. So because he was so good offensively, I think didn't he lead the league in defenseman scoring a few times back in the day? I don't know. I don't know the answer, Josh.
Okay.
What do you think?
I'd probably go with Lidstrom, but for the reason that one of the complaints we get about these awards is that they're named after players that played so long ago that nobody knows them, and just to have more of a contemporary kind of legend in there.
You know what's going to happen though? We're going to be at a card show, all 3 of us, all 4 or 5, our whole group, all 30. And some 40-year-olds are gonna walk by and be like, who's the Lidstrom Award named after again? And we're all gonna beat his ass with our canes, because I'll remind you, Pearl Jam is classic rock now. So boys, we're getting into that territory.
I think Lidstrom's the guy.
Yeah, probably. Detroit thing. I don't know.
So next topic, it's been Breeny's world, and we've been living in it in 25-26. But we did hit I think, an important milestone if you're a Connor Bedard chaser or collector or just fan in general. Year 3 has been a pretty good one for young Bedsy. Been a little bit, again, under the radar in Benini or Breeny Bonanza. Now we have Matthew Mania in full swing. But a significant milestone was in this past week. Bedard scored his 30th goal of the season. And, especially after last year where we didn't see that jump, and you could definitely say he struggled a little bit. So it's been a pretty big improvement. In 60 games played this year, he has 30 goals and 67 points. He's more than a point per game.
That's good.
Last season, he had 23 goals and 67 points in a full 82 games played. He was also a minus 36 last year, and he's improved that to a minus 6 this year. Of course, Bedard is just 20. Now has 195 points in 210 career games, and he's still on a terrible team. So I don't know, how would you guys categorize Bedard's third season to date, and have any of your long-term thoughts or projections about his career changed at this point?
Successful, I would say, would be his first few years in the league. And the only reason why there might be disappointment, I think, is because he's being compared to Celebrini, who's playing really well. So compared to Celebrini, Bedard might be a bit of a disappointment. But if you're the Chicago Blackhawks, I think you're feeling just fine about having Connor Bedard on your team and being, the face of the team in the future, along with what they seem to be surrounding him with other prospects. So I'd say successful. 30 goals is pretty good. He has to get better every year, and he likely will. If he can add 5 goals every year for the next 3 or 4 seasons, he'll be a 50-goal guy, and then maybe he plateaus there through his prime. I think he's not a disappointment, I don't think.
No, he's right on track. I think he's not going as fast in goal scoring and points accumulation as the hobby maybe wants him to, but I think the league is very happy with the way he's sitting on Chicago. They're clearly trying to bring in players to support him. I mean, bringing Spencer Knight. Can't even say his name properly. They're good to go, man. He's on the right track, and I think Jeremy said it best. If he gets like 5 goals every year and he becomes a 40 goal scorer for the rest of his career, well, I think he proved all the hype correct.
The big concern last year was not even so much the goals and points, it was his skating, and particularly his speed. And I think we covered this a few months ago, but he definitely worked on that in the offseason because the analytics and skating stats are much more favorable for him this year, which is important because he knows, I guess, what he needs to work on, and he went and improved that. Jeremy, were you disappointed, or did you think it was a poor decision on your country's behalf not putting him on the Olympic roster?
No, I don't think so. No, I don't. I think there were other decisions that were poor for the Canadian team. Leaving Mark Scheifele off the team, I think, was a poor mistake. There were some questionable inclusions. I think that these guys overthink it. They're trying to build, because they'll say to the public, we're building a team and all the pieces have to fit into their roles and this and that. But those same managers will say at the NHL draft, you just pick the best player available. And I know it's kind of not apples. It's not apples to apples, right? Because you're one is in the immediate future, and the other one is several years down the road. It's obviously different, but I just think that when it comes to international competition like that, you just have to bring on the best players and let them the best players will find their role on the team. I think. And I think that the Canadian management team is to blame for losing, even though it came down to one goal at one final goal to win it all in overtime. And anything can happen at any time. And I'm not taking anything away from the Americans. They were a force to be reckoned with and dominant in net, absolutely dominant in net with Connor Hellebuck. So I know, a different bit of a topic, Josh, but no, I don't think it was a mistake to leave Bedard off, and I think it was the right move to include Celebrini.
Yeah.
You don't think Bedard is part of the 32 players that could have been more skilled than bring in someone else? Like you said, who would you have not replaced Bedard with?
Sorry, a couple double negatives there.
Yeah.
That's how we roll on this
Bedard,
show.
if you don't think Bedard should have been on, then you agree with every other player that's on the team, no? Or no?
I
he
think
thought
Scheifele. I think Scheifele could have been on there. I don't know that Tom Wilson had to be on the team. I
think he did. I think Tom should have been on there. Yeah, he had it the grit. Yeah, I wanted him on there.
I don't think that it's a grit tournament. I think he's great for NHL playoffs where you're playing 28 games potentially.
I want a passionate, skilled player who plays with sandpaper on my team. Definitely. Maybe if he wasn't on the team, we would have won. Who knows?
Yeah. See, I don't think wanting one for your entertainment versus what's going to get you the win might be two different things there, Phil. I don't know, but you got to score goals. You have to score goals, and these players will find their way to dance around.
Bring Bedard. He's a goal scorer. I think Bedard should have been.
I'm not saying he shouldn't have been on the team. I'm just saying that I don't think it was the biggest mistake to leave him off. But at the end of the day, you know what? I might want to retract that and say, yeah, he should have been there because he could have scored the goals that could have made the difference.
A sniper. Maybe. Yeah, I'm very excited to watch Bedard have a great career. I'm rooting for the young man big time.
You also though have to separate the hockey and the hobby, where I think from a hockey standpoint, he's definitely had a really nice year and is on track. I think it's a little more tough from the hobby perspective. Bedard is the most hyped hockey rookie ever in the hobby. I mean, if you look at every metric, and I know a little bit's part of modern collecting, but it just is the amount of money that was spent, the amount of $5,000 purchases, $10,000 purchases, the amount of young guns sold and graded, and it's almost going to be impossible to live up to that.
Horvat, Stone, Hagel, all on team. Horvat, Mark Stone, and Brandon Hagel all made the team ahead of Bedard, Scheifele, and a few others. Sorry to go back in time there, John. I just brought up the roster so I could, have it in front of me here. And Sam Bennett, you want grit? Sam Bennett, there's your grit.
Well, do you need both Wilson and Sam Bennett? Would one?
That's a good point.
Enough?
That's don't. No, I would say no. You don't. So I pick one or the other. That's fair. But I like Wilson. I like him.
If it's not Hellebuck's fault for Canada losing, it's that reason there. And I want to give Hellebuck all the credit in the world.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy he got that because the biggest knock on him, he checked that.
Could have won the big one.
Yeah.
Okay. Bedard is a 23-24 Young Guns PSA 10 pop, 7,791, 41% jam rate, less sold for $735 US on March 27th, up 10% in the past month, but still down 20% in the past 3 months. 52-week high is 1,032. 52-week low, it got all the way down to 405 US at one point. Okay, two things left in the weekly 7. Breeze through them pretty quickly. The Athletic had another, I think, good article. They listed the 9 most disappointing players so far this season. We're not going to go through all 9, but I picked out 3 that I thought were interesting to highlight that have a little bit of hobby ties to them. And you guys can maybe throw in a name or two if someone comes to your mind. But one of the top ones the Athletic listed was JT Miller, who actually played on Team USA in the Olympics. So he averaged 89 points per 82 games for basically the last 4 years. And then the Rangers took a risk on him after the whole Elias Pettersson drama. And the thought was he'd revitalize their top 6, be their solid number 1 center. And the season has not quite worked out that way. He's got 15 goals and 45 points in 59 games played and is a minus 27.
And a bad attitude.
He's been injured, sluggish, on the ice for more goals against than any other Rangers forward. And the fear is he might be showing his 33-year-old age at this point. So JT Miller was one of the 9 most disappointing players listed by The Athletic. Any comments on Miller?
Yeah. Sorry, Josh, to cut you off there. I said something last Friday about JT Miller. He came up. he reminds me, he's a no BS guy, right? It sounds better. The phrase sounds better if I can swear, but I won't. He's like the no BS guy, right? Like, no, you when I say jump, you say how high. But when you trust a man like that with the process, usually they're results driven, right? A hard-nosed guy. JT Miller reminds me of, but he's not successful. He's a no BS guy, but he reminds me of Bryce Harper, but Bryce Harper actually backs it up. JT Miller has not backed it up, right?
He's rough around the edges a little bit.
Yeah, but I prefer guys like that. You can clip that there, internet. I prefer men like that who are rougher and more direct. He's just not getting the results. Mm-hmm. Now, that's a bit of an ignorant take. I've never met JT Miller. I'm just going by what I see on the ice and in interviews, and his no BS stare, no blinking. I don't know.
Okay, the next player that I wanted to highlight from the Athletics' 9 most disappointing players. We won't linger too long for our guy Phil, but Linus Ullmark was definitely
yes,
dumpster fire might be the word to describe his season, Phil. And here's how the way the Athletic put it, which I'm sure you'll agree with. They said if Ullmark merely lived up to normal expectations, your team would be a bona fide cup contender. And instead, you're fighting for a playoff spot. I didn't know this, but he's just on the first year of a 4-year extension, too, at like $8.25 million AAV. And so it looks like you're going to be stuck with him hoping for a rebound.
We played Tampa Bay on Saturday over this past weekend at 1:00. A few hours before the game, he was our starter. He said, I don't want to start. I'll back up, but I don't want to start. That's all we know in Ottawa. That's all we know.
Really?
And so we had to start right. Yeah, really. Because I guess when you're a goalie, your starting day rituals don't matter, right? I'm sure James Reimer was. I mean, I love James Reimer. He represents himself beautifully. If you have problems with him, I mean, that's super silly. I think look in the mirror. I love James Reimer. And that was not fair to him. Ullmark is such a disaster of a human being. And I'm not questioning. I know there's some mental illness going on right now because he asked for a break from the team. I'm still allowed to call a man unreasonable and a bit of a jerk. And I can separate those two issues, right? You can't use that as a crutch forever. So a few hours before a hockey game, you can't just use that as a crutch. Like, I'm not feeling I can't play the game, blah, blah, blah. Like you're being a jerk. You're being a jerk. He has been so utterly disappointing for my hockey team. I can't wait to never see him again. And we could make it to the cup. We could even win the cup. I guarantee you, Steve Staios, my general manager, needs him gone so fast from this city. We just got lucky. This guy can't pack his bags fast enough to get out of here. Sorry, we don't want to.
So you think that he'll be gone next year, or is that your hope? What do you really think will happen?
I really think our general manager wants him gone as fast as possible. Yes, but who's going to take him? His off ice. Oilers. He is not. Sure, yeah, take him. I mean, he'd help. He has no conditioning. He's not hockey. You know, you said Kucherov is a student of the game. I'm used to guys like Jason Spezza, right? I'm used to guys like that who eat, breathe, and poop hockey. Linus Ullmark thinks it's funny in interviews to say, I don't do much. I don't think about hockey much. I play video games and I eat chips. And yeah, man, go to the KHL.
Why sign him to 4 years and give him 8.5? Like, you got to,
I know.
You know? Yeah.
It drives me crazy. I love Steve. I think he did the best he could. I think they shot themselves in the foot on that one.
It's almost like some of these GMs are more fickle than collectors are, you know.
And Steve is. I don't know why he did. That's the biggest. And I'm Linus Ullmark's biggest non-fan. And I love Steve Staios, and everyone in Ottawa wants Staios, in trouble for that. It was him or Markstrom. You're going to get Linus Ullmark or you're going to get Markstrom. So we went with Ullmark. We took a chance. He played decent. The Athletic couldn't be more correct. We would be top 3 in our conference if we had average goaltending. I am sorry to go on a rant, but I can't say this stuff where I live.
Well, he had one of the best seasons in history the year before you guys got him, too. Yeah. But it should have said something that Boston was willing to get rid of him, too.
Exactly.
Under those circumstances.
There's no environment in Ottawa where I can say these things. It's like the worse the player is and the more they cry, the more we build them up here. It's absolutely mind-blowing. It's meritless.
Well, you think in hockey you'd lose your team if on game day versus when you're fighting for a playoff spot against a really good team, if your starting goalie basically opts out and says, I don't want to do it today.
Always, and he backed up that game. It's always something. When he needed his break because something was going on, why was he in the building for the games? Do you know, like these are points we're allowed to bring up. You can't just say I have some problems up top and then that's you have an invisible cloak. Come on, you're a professional athlete. You have some things you have to have some standards. And I listen, I have problems up top. I've been very open about them, okay? So we all do, but we deal with them, right? I don't get $8 million a year for it though.
The last kind of hobby related player that the Athletic pointed out was Quentin Byfield. I didn't realize that he finished last year so strong. So he was the number 2 overall pick in 2020. So in the Kings' final 32 games last year, Byfield had 31 points. So there's a lot of, I think, excitement coming into this year. And of course, he's got that tantalizing combination of size, speed, and skill. He's a massive guy, fast as lightning. And this season's not gone well. He's got 18 goals, 42 points in 70 games played. Who knows? But he's at 330 games in his career now and shows promise. It's that whole consistency thing. And then falls back. And one of the things I wondered, I'm not trying to make an excuse because I somewhat believe that no matter your circumstance that need to find a way to overcome it. But all these 18 and 19-year-olds that made their debut in 2020 in a really weird time in human history, of course, it seems like maybe they might have had the deck stacked against them a little bit. You're on mute, Jeremy.
Sorry, I've got that because I've got a lot of kids in my house right now. I don't know if you can hear them. I want to mute that in case it's coming through. Yeah, I was just gonna say all I said was fair comment, Josh. They do have it was a weird time, and I think their development was stunted. They permanently lost experience that they can never get back because the season didn't happen, or most of it didn't happen. So it's too bad. It's unfortunate.
I think it's accurate. I have a couple of friends with kids around the same age. It's a couple of years there. It's lost.
They said every kid that was at crucial development years is going to suffer a little bit as a result from the stay-at-home time. Okay, last thing in the Weekly 7. I think pretty significant, and I actually think it should be more significant, but we talked about Ovi a little bit earlier. So he became only the second player in the last week or so, joining Wayne Gretzky with 1,000 career NHL goals if you include both the regular season and playoffs. So he now has 926 goals in the regular season, 77 in the postseason for 1,003 combined. Gretzky still has the most in this category with 1,016 combined, so Ovi's 13 behind him. I get it, why we typically compare players' numbers solely based on regular season, because that's when everyone has the opportunity to go, I guess, well, I wouldn't call it head-to-head, but they're eligible to participate. But it does bug me, though, that playoff points and goals are rarely referenced when we talk about a player. And can you make the argument that those are the most important goals?
Yes, I was thinking, Josh, you just took that out of my. Sorry, Josh, but you just took that.
No,
I was thinking that we don't, the hobby, the public, we do not give credit or, like you said, make reference to the overall totals. It makes, on the one hand, it makes sense because some players can be great but not ever make the playoffs, which is awkward, but it can happen. But at the same time, those are the goals that matter the most. That's what matters. Yet regular season stats get all the love, which is kind of backwards. So I'm with you.
I feel the same way. It's like I wish that it mattered more. What do you think, Phil?
Isn't it's one of those equality of opportunity, right? Not everyone gets the same opportunity, so we got to level the playing field. Slam the stats together. That's what matters. I think that matters way more than the WHA points. That's how that would like that argument. Yeah. Well, I mean, we should count the points in WHA with the NHL. That's your total. I think playoff points matter way more. I mean, there's two different arguments, but
different choice there. Yeah.
I'm just showing you the hierarchy of importance in my head.
Another interesting Ovi factoid is, so he had a hat trick the other night and jumped his season goal total to 29. So he's one goal away from scoring his 30th goal of the season at 40 years old. Only 3 players in NHL history have scored 30 or more goals at age 40 or later. Gordie Howe did it twice.
Oh,
Johnny Busick and Teemu Selanne are the only players to do that. So he continues to be, he's not going to be the Ovi of 50, 60 goals anymore. But at his age, it's still pretty impressive what he's doing.
it's crazy. 29 goals. What a greasy bastard. I love him.
Let's get that. I want him to get that 30th. He will. So
He will. It'll be an empty netter. I'm sure it'll be the Ovi special. Do you hope he plays next year? Or
yeah, of course. Of course I do.
Play 5 more years.
I don't. I am saddened at the thought of Ovi and or Crosby no longer being in the NHL. Like those guys retiring is going to be. That's the end of an era. I mean, that's as big as Gretzky retiring. It's going to be very sad.
How many more years Crosby? I think he's got 2 or 3 in him for sure.
I think so too, and I think both these. I mean, it's hard to talk about Ovechkin just because of the old like Russian background thing in terms of like where does he want to play out his final years of pro hockey. Yeah. But I feel like both these guys want to play and are like they just love the sport. Ovi, he has so much fun. He's the antithesis to Kucherov again. From I would love. I'd be sad, Josh, and I hope they both play. I think Crosby's got more gas in the tank than Ovi does.
Well, Crosby takes care of himself better than Ovi does. So, I mean, that just to prop that.
Just a little bit. Not a lot. Just a little. Yeah.
Alexander Ovechkin is a 2005-06 Young Guns PSA 10 pop 1371 with a 31% gem rate. Last sold for $3,304 US on March 22nd. Down 28% in the past month, but flat over the past 3 months. 52-week high, 4,950. 52-week low, 2,806. That's your weekly 7 for this week. Slab Sharks is a Gongshow partner sponsor. Thankful for their support of our show. Current Slab Sharks weekly auction is live. Ends this upcoming Thursday night. Another big week with more than 6,300 cards available to bid on. More hobby grails too. I just was looking this morning. There's a McDavid Seismic Gold rookie auto. Very nice. You got a Celebrini limited logos RPA. Game used limited logo RPA. Limited logos, a Schaefer, Young Guns Outburst Red. I'm sure there'll be a lot of action. That's a card Phil wants, I know.
Oh, dying for it, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So head to slabsharks.com, mark your favorites, get your early bids in. And if you're a seller, we'd all recommend considering Slab Sharks to help you sell your cards. Go see Jeremy if you're in Alberta or the middle part of Canada. I guess he'd love prairies. He'd love to help you out. And a lot of people are doing it because Slab Sharks makes it super easy to sell your cards on eBay. All you got to do is box them up, send them in, and you're done. Slab Sharks does the rest. If you're in the U.S., we've made it even easier as well. We've partnered with Slab Sharks and are the official U.S. submission center, so you don't have to worry about shipping internationally to get your cards into the biggest weekly hockey auction there is. Just send them to the Gong Show, and we'll take it from there. So for complete consignment info, including payout rates, and to get the submission process started today, head to slabsharks.com. Hobby news! Jeremy.
Sorry, I'm a little rusty right now. It is now time for your hobby news.
Woo! Hobby news.
Hobby news.
Okay. I think you might have talked about this on your Saturday night show, Jeremy, but I wanted to get your perspective and Phil's and Louis, if he wants to chime in on the latest Jason Mashera LinkedIn post. Now, Jason is the sophisticated type. He, some of us degens hang out on Twitter or X, I guess, or Instagram. He's on the businessy social platform LinkedIn. And he took some umbrage with, or shared some thoughts about Kevin O'Leary at the Oscars, where he blinged out I think it was like one of the Logo Man big famous basketball cards. And I'll just read because it's short, Jason's post, and then love to get your guys' comments on that. So here's what Jason had to say. When Kevin O'Leary walked the Oscars red carpet, he was wearing one expensive accessory, a 101-2004 Upper Deck Exquisite Collection triple Logo Man card of Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, and Michael Jordan. We're used to seeing our cards in slabs, but not mounted in Tiffany white gold and hundreds of carats of diamonds. My reaction was complicated. Mainstream audience who have never thought about a trading card in their adult lives are suddenly asking questions about value, rarity, and what makes a collectible worth wearing to an award show. That curiosity is good for the hobby. But it's a gaudy move borrowed directly from Logan Paul's playbook. Paul had been wearing his Pikachu Illustrator as a fashion accessory for years before debuting it in a custom diamond pendant at WrestleMania in 2022. He's a showman. The card is part of the spectacle. In my opinion, the hobby doesn't need theater to justify itself. The cards are real. The values are real. Most importantly, the communities built around collecting are real. When mainstream attention arrives organically, it reinforces something authentic. When it feels staged, it creates skepticism. And skepticism is the last thing a hobby built on trust needs. Which brings me back to that exquisite triple Logo Man card. It's a true 101 featuring 3 of the greatest players ever. It never needed a chain or a red carpet appearance to be attention grabbing. It's just a great card. So I don't know, Jeremy, if you talked about this on your show, what was your thoughts on it, or thoughts that people brought up on is this a good thing for the hobby to get this kind of attention? Do you worry that it's the wrong kind of attention?
We did talk about it last night on Sports Cards Live, and I did the same thing you did, kind of read his post, and the discussion we had wasn't so much on, what Mr. Wonderful, what Kevin O'Leary really did. It was more on Jason's commentary, which I really liked from what you read. I like how he says the hobby doesn't need theater to justify itself. The cards are real, the values are real. Most importantly, the community built around the collecting are real. And when mainstream media attention arrives organically, it reinforces something that's authentic. I love those comments by Jason. I think that is all correct. And I also, my sort of outlook is that I don't think it's all bad that O'Leary does this and brings a ton of attention to the cards. I think it will bring a ton of attention to cards, what he's done. But I think that it's short-term gain for long-term pain. I think it's gonna be a rush of a bit of some hype around it, and then I think some people will just forget that it happened, who are kind of getting caught up in the rush, versus where it's organic, it's natural, it's healthy, and the growth is a slower, steadier slope, if you will, or curve. So I love Jason's thought leadership on LinkedIn. He's really becoming that guy on there, and I love reading his posts and the comment and the discussions that come out of it. And so I think at the end of the day, it's probably not going to hurt the hobby too much, but I don't think it's necessary. I think the hobby would be just fine without it.
Before we get Phil's comments, overall net positive of stuff like this or net negative?
Cool.
Short-term net positive, long-term net neutral.
Okay.
Ooh, good
What do you
answer.
think, Phil?
I don't have strong opinions on this. I think Kevin looks silly with the way he's doing it, but I think he's aware he looks silly and he doesn't care. And I don't know if this is bad or good. I really don't. I don't have strong opinions on this at all. Go ahead, Jeremy. I don't have any.
I just think that Kevin is not a collector. I mean, I don't know the guy.
Isn't that obvious? This does not affect me in any way, shape, or form. I don't take him seriously.
Right. So he's bringing it. He's like, it's just like it's not a authentic representation. Someone's in my chat said it great last night. They said, I don't want that representing our hobby, because
Sure.
He does not represent me as a hobbyist. And I think that the reason that comment was made is because a lot of people who are not familiar with the hobby are going to see that and think, oh, that's what sports card collectors are like now. They're wearing their cards on chains at the Oscars, even though really only
I hope not. Oh my goodness.
But it's just like, he doesn't represent the hobby, but he's out there kind of representing the hobby right now. And that, I think, is bothers some collectors. Doesn't mean it's bad for the hobby, but it comes back to what I said before. I think is that I'd rather see steady growth versus a big spike, because a big spike is going to be followed by a reverse spike. Yeah.
There's nothing O'Leary did to show that card looks nice. Like, that's my big thing. I like a lot of cards because they make my eyes happy. That was strictly 100% financial value.
Hype,
so
it
you're
was a
right.
hype.
It doesn't represent us at all.
Oh,
Like
right.
I don't
No,
know. He's
it's-
just not
it's-
in my way. I don't think he's in our way. If
It's
that
all
piques
hype.
interest-
He did it for hype and to increase the value
Yeah.
of his card portfolio. It's obvious.
You got a comment, Louis?
Yeah, I was basically just going to say, for me, I don't really care. He can show up however he wants and deal with whatever comes with it. It doesn't affect me. He chose it, and now it is what it is. If the goal was attention, it obviously worked, but
Yeah.
whatever.
Well, and there's the old PR adage of any publicity is good publicity. So you could take that to the hobby. There's actually something about O'Leary in this card that's bothered me much more than the wearing it on a diamond chain at the Oscars.
Oh,
And I want to give a little disclaimer here because there's no bigger fan of Card Ladder than myself. I know you're good friends with the Card Ladder team too, Jeremy. I can't imagine there's somebody that uses Card Ladder, like if they looked at their logs, more than me. Like I have to be in the top 1% at least of power users. I love that platform. I don't know if you guys have noticed this, for a couple months now, O'Leary's been going on Fox News or TV articles anywhere, and he's using like the player indexes. Well, he bought the card for what, like 12 million, 14 million. He's saying it's a $20 million card. And he's referencing those Card Ladder indexes, which are not super. I mean, it's a good barometer that they do, but it's not a. It's very loose logic, I would say, mathematically, to point to a solid like card that you bought for $12 million that's now worth $20 million a few months later. It's almost like absurd that he's making that assertion based off of that Card Ladder player index.
A couple things, Phil. You're calling it the Card Ladder. You're calling it the indexes. It's actually Card Ladder has indexes, but I think what you're referring to, Josh, are the Card Ladder values.
The values based on the player's index. And if the card hasn't sold,
sort of based on the index. Yes.
Yeah.
But the Card Ladder value is separate from the indexes, but it's actually not related to the indexes in many ways. Sometimes it's simply related to the last sale of the card. Sometimes it is related to, as you say, how the card is moved, how the card would have moved if it was the index. So yeah, along with the index. But here's the thing that O'Leary is doing, maybe without realizing he's doing, and that kind of, for me, saves Card Ladder from any kind of criticism here. And that is that the Card Ladder values come with a confidence interval, a confidence level meter. And that meter runs from 1 to 5. The confidence on that card's value in Card Ladder is the lowest. It's a 1 of 5, which means that Card Ladder is telling you, don't believe the hype. Don't believe this. This is almost meaningless information. We are not standing by it. We have the lowest possible level of confidence in the value there that we are putting on it. So, and O'Leary isn't out there saying, "Hey guys, this independent."
He's treating it like gospel,
says it's
which
worth.
is my point. Yeah, like
What's
it's
that?
Like he's treating it like gospel. Like
He is stating it as fact. And I made this post somewhere not too long ago. He is stating it as fact when in reality, it is no one is saying it's a fact. It's not even an opinion. It is the lowest possible confidence that anyone could have that value is correct. And so whether he understands it or not, who knows? But yeah, he's hyping it. And he's completely misrepresenting what it is. What
I
its
don't know
value
why
would
he
be.
even wore this at the Oscars. I mean, who
because
watches
he's trying to
the
he wants to
hype.
flip the card.
For
Hype.
who though?
Hype.
The only people that watch the Oscars are the ones there and 15 people on TV.
Well, but no, because he owns
more
other
people
cards.
there.
They have other cards in the portfolio. They're trying to raise everything. That's what he's doing. He's trying to bring attention to it so that down the road he can cash out for more money. Listen, he's no
mainstream
dummy. He's no dummy.
So we should cut this segment and not give it any attention because now we're helping him out.
I don't think our listeners are fitting the price tag. No offense, maybe some of them.
No,
but
he's trying to mainstream it, just like Logan Paul wearing it at WrestleMania. It's not showing it to hobbyists that already know and appreciate it. It's saying that this card is, the Oscars red carpet represents the women wear the most expensive dresses. They all wear diamonds from Tiffany's, and so it's saying that this cards are so valuable that it's just an important accessory as a Patek Philippe watch or something like that, right? Or a Richard Mille watch or something like that.
Okay.
So,
Bye-bye.
okay. Next story. Again, this is part of my effort to, I don't know why I do this, but to I guess, hopefully frame properly legal stuff in the hobby. So this story comes from Sports Collectors Daily. The other day, a U.S. federal judge dismissed a lawsuit filed by 5 collectors that claimed Fanatics and the major professional sports leagues had conspired to lock up exclusive trading card licenses and drive up prices for collectors. U.S. District Judge Laura Taylor Swain issued a 30-page ruling throwing out the entire complaint because the plaintiffs failed to show they had personally overpaid or were about to overpay for cards bought directly by the defendant. It's one lawsuit, and we don't even know how it was constructed legally or even presented. But again, it's an example that does, number one, set precedents, and that'll be really hard to break up these exclusive licenses. And I know most of us would prefer multiple license holders. That would spur more competition and innovation in the hobby, but I think it's going to be a tough cookie to crack. And again, I bring it up because these stories are another good example to remind everyone that first of all, it's not up to the manufacturers whether there's an exclusive with a specific card company. So when people blame Fanatics or Upper Deck on the hockey side, or it's the leagues that decided they wanted to have one manufacturer, and then they put it out for bid, and it makes sense, right? From that perspective, that you get one company to work with. So don't blame card companies, but then it's also a good reminder too that, and we're content people, Jeremy, but one of the things that gets under my skin maybe a little bit as a content creator is a lawsuit gets thrown out, and then it's very easy for people like us to say Fanatics sued. Could the end of or whatnot, is gambling. Will it now be regulated? And you've worked at big companies. You've had a leadership role. $1 billion companies get sued every single day. And so a company like Fanatics or whatnot getting sued is not news in of itself. It's news when they lose a lawsuit. It was news when Meta and Google was held liable last week for addictive tendencies of social network platforms in children, right? Because that now sets legal precedents. And so again, it's just another reminder not to get too excited when one of these big hobby companies gets sued, because they're going to be sued all the time. We have to have a little bit of patience and wait to see if anything happens. And there's a lot of reasons why companies get sued. Sometimes lawyers just, it's a good way to leverage some money and make an income stream if you're a law firm too. And most lawsuits are presented and with nobody wants to litigate. Everyone wants to settle quick and easy, pay us off, make us go away sort of deal. But I bring it up to just throw out that reminder. I don't know if you guys have any comments on that.
Yeah, the comment I have, Josh, because you kind of said about, you can blame the card companies for being, sort of monopolies or whatever. I think the hobby misdirects their blame at the card companies. The card companies are profit driven, shareholder driven. That's what they're here for. That's what any company is really for. I like to think, because we're fortunate that we know some of the people in some of these companies, that they actually do care about collectors. I think Upper Deck fits that bill pretty nicely. I don't know anyone I know a couple of people at Panini, but not since they've been there. So I guess my point is really, just to get to my point here with this one, Josh, is that the blame lies squarely on the licensors. It lies on the leagues and the players associations, not on the card companies. The leagues are the one that drove to this single license era that we've been in for a while now. Not the card companies. They wanted it. So to me, if you're going to blame anybody for the monopolistic nature of the world of sports cards right now, blame the leagues and the players, but hobbyists don't seem to recognize that, or they just don't know that that's what drove us to where
They
we
want
are
to blame
today.
Fanatics, and they want to blame Upper Deck.
They want to blame Upper Deck and Fanatics and Panini for where things. They want to blame Fanatics for sure, because they're the
evil empire.
Of course. Yeah. Everyone's always got to punch up, right? You got to punch up. So
yeah. Anything, Phil? Yeah.
If we're in a monopoly in hockey with card manufacturers or Upper Deck, I'm happy. I'm a pig in poop. Yeah. Yeah.
Your
his
favorite
words,
company.
not ours.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, I'm okay with it. I think Upper Deck does a better job than Topps or Panini ever did or will. Saying that, I do love a lot of good Panini cards from 2012, 13, 14. There's some real bangers in there, and variety is the spice of life. And I do think competition would give us better cards. But I will stay in my lane with hockey and Upper Deck compared to baseball, football, basketball, all the other sports. I think we have it the best by far.
Okay.
We're lucky.
We are. Last hobby news story is about Tiger Woods. I know everyone saw he got into another car accident on Friday. So apparently he's driving his Range Rover a little too fast, swerved to miss a turning vehicle, flipped his car over. This happened near his home in Florida. At the scene, Woods was given field sobriety tests. I think some he might have refused, and he was arrested on the suspicion of DUI. Now, he had previously been arrested for DUI in 2017, had another serious one-car crash in 2021 where he almost lost his leg, suffered a severely or badly broken leg there. Who knows what exactly is going on, but it does look like this guy has some pretty serious demons. Maybe that's fair to say. Why I want to bring this up, though, is that it kind of brings up the age-old hobby question of when does a player's personal life truly affect their hobby market? Woods is the GOAT of golf. People spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on his cards, and DUI is a touchy subject for many. It seems if somebody has the disease and they're really intoxicated, they're probably not making, they're not in a right frame of mind to make good decisions. But at the same point, when you're a billionaire and you have the Uber app maybe on your phone, you can
better. I was sorry, even better. I saw someone else say this. Just hire a driver, man. Why are you driving yourself around anyway? You're Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
Like, don't you want to be on your phone or doing something else instead of driving a car? Unless you're literally driving on a track for sport, like hire a driver, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know, but your other question, Josh. How does the hobby react to these things? And look at a guy like Kobe Bryant. He went through some personal issues. Michael Jordan has gone through he's got gambling on his resume. Kobe Bryant's got things on his resume as well. But Kobe Bryant is, I believe, if not the second most beloved athlete in the history of the hobby, and only Michael Jordan is ahead of him. I was at the Lakers game at a Lakers game in February, and we went to the crypto.com before the game and saw all the statues, the Wayne Gretzky, the Magic Johnson, the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the Luc Robitaille, among the Jerry West, among others. There was one statue that had a long lineup of people to take a picture in front of.
Yeah.
Kobe Bryant, the only statue with a lineup. There was nobody around Gretzky. There was nobody around Magic Johnson or Kareem. It was all Kobe. Yet his hobby, he's got some demons. His hobby, his status in the hobby is godlike. So my point, Josh, is that the hobby will forget and give Tiger a pass on this, just like they did last time. So it might not be right now. You might find some deals in the short term, but in the long term, I think his value will be there.
Can't you say, though, in the case of Kobe, that he had pretty successfully rehabbed his image after that midpoint of his career? Much more, well, it's hard to debate the severity of bad things, but you can make the argument
that's
much
up there.
more.
I'm sorry. That's top for me.
Yeah.
That's
much more maybe
me,
severe accusations, but by the time of his death, I mean, it was much more the Kobe sitting at courtside with his daughter Gianna and being the girl dad and stuff like that. So I think that his image had rehabbed a little bit from that point. But you do make a good point. I idolized Michael Jordan growing up. It's hard to make the argument he's ever been a good person. I mean, a lot of the evidence point to he's really not, and very mean, very, very like vindictive, and kind of that cutthroat competitor. But I just feel like we have like my good buddy Mark Hill over at My Card Post has been doing a quest, opening a box a day of the new Upper Deck Golf to try to hit the Tiger buyback auto, and major marketing investment on his behalf there. And then this news hits, and it's just like, oh.
The people that will have the most to say about any of this are not his card and memorabilia collectors. So if the media, if you could cancel Woods all you want, their collectors are going to collect them. The loudest voices usually are the people with no skin in the game. So this is nothing. Listen, man, he cheated on the most beautiful woman in the world at the time. Elin, his former wife. That's when I'm like, well, this guy is going to have a juicy career in the media.
Well, she don't knocked his teeth out, right? So with a golf club. So there you go. She
is the most incredible woman when she broke out the back window there in his SUV and chased him down. She's an amazing female.
We're going to move on to some deep thoughts with Jeremy Lee. So here's how I came about this idea, Jeremy. I listen to your Sports Cards Live religiously on Sunday mornings as I'm prepping for this show. It's kind of my routine. Turn it on. And I've noticed that over the last number of months that especially kind of the end part of your show, when you have our guy Chris McGill on and some others, that you get pretty deep in your topics. And then I sometimes think like, we're about an inch deep and a mile wide on this show. Like we don't get very into the psychology, I guess, behind the whys that we do this. And so I wanted to get a little deep today and use the opportunity of having you here. So I came up with 4 questions. I sent these to you in advance, so I wasn't ambushing you. But that I thought, I'd like to get your perspective on, and then Phil, you and Louis can chime in if you have thoughts here too. So here's deep thoughts with Jeremy Jack Handy.
Before you start, I just want to let you know, I read the questions. I wrote back. I said, yep, good to go. I did not think about them, Josh, more than reading them. Right. And I don't recall what they are. So this is going to be very off the cuff and
good.
So
I like that.
I'm ready for it though.
So I thought this too, because I want to maybe set the stage for this first question. I was a professional working adult who in my 40s quit my job and became a hockey card podcaster, and had to go through this sort of awkward stage of like people that in my family and my wife's family, and explain to them like what I'm doing and why. And it was a little awkward, I would say, and so that's where the nexus are, where this came from. But so if you had to explain to a family member or stranger not in the hobby why you've made this career, why you collect, what do you say to them?
Yeah. I mean, one thing I say to people who ask what I do now is I say, I have a media business is what I say. And then if they ask more questions, then I say, well, I do a YouTube live stream. I work with several companies in the space to help promote their businesses. I've written a book. I've created a platform. I kind of give them the whole spiel to round out or expand on the quick and dirty answer was it's a media business. I actually have a company called Sports Cards Live Media, just like you have Dollarbuck Ventures LLC. Like I do have a media business. But when people the best part, Josh, here is that I don't really ever have to explain why I do what I do, because as soon as I get into this conversation, people's eyes open up wide with envy. They're like, "Oh man, you're living the life. You get to do what you love, and something you you've got experience and knowledge in, and you're working for yourself and all these sorts of things." And I'm like, "Yeah, it really is living the dream, doing what I do now." Because I was in Canada a chartered accountant and a CPA for 25 years. Never, I would say of those 25 years, maybe 3 months I loved my job. I loved my career. I never loved what I did. And luckily I was pretty good at it, and I could make a living and had some fun jobs, some relatively fun jobs along the way, but nothing compares to where I am now. I also say to people, listen, I don't make the money I used to make, but I'm richer than I've ever been, and that's because I'm my own boss. I don't have to I don't have to ask anyone permission for when I can go on vacation or if I can go pick up my kids from school or go to this or that. Like that is a luxury that I think I'm very fortunate to have, and people are envious more than befuddled by what I do for a living now.
I go for shock and awe. So we have a different approach. It's kind of interesting. When people ask me, well, what are you doing? I just had this conversation 2 days ago with a guy who I hadn't talked to in a couple years. Like, well, what are you doing now? I just go right to it. I say, I'm a hockey card podcaster. And then the look on their face is like, what? And then he asked me a little bit about it. And I like, well, what does that mean? And so I tell him, we do a podcast twice a week about hockey cards. Yeah, about sports cards are pretty valuable these days, and lots of people collect them. Then the follow-up question was, and this has happened before too, he's like, well, what do you do for your real job?
Yeah.
And then I go, well, this is my real job.
I will often say I'm a content creator. Oh, well, what does that mean? And then I get into it a little bit more. And they, you know what though, Josh, like you, people love, like, this is the coolest answer they've had in months, if not years, when they've asked someone else, what do you do for a living? Like, people love hearing it. They want to learn more about it. And I love having the conversation, and I love the answer, because it's almost like not many people do this. Not many people have taken the path that we have to be a professional. I will sometimes say I'm a professional content creator, and I focus in the world of sports cards. You know, I could come out quicker and do something. Or the coolest part of it all is my kids. You know, they're in grade school, like they're in like grades 1 and grades 3, so they're in really young grade school. But they love telling their friends that their dad's a YouTuber. You know, they earn their social equity in elementary school when your dad is a YouTuber. So they love that. That's fun.
Okay. Anything to add to this one, Phil? Or
It's cheaper than therapy, so that's what I say I collect cards for. But it's not.
it's not? Yeah,
It's not. Yeah.
You're such a liar. Okay, next question in Deep Thoughts with Jeremy Lee. Why do you think the hobby is so popular today, and are those reasons sustainable?
Oh, that's such a great question. Why popular, and then is it sustainable? So why popular? I think COVID had a lot to do with it, getting more people involved. I think that sports is just such a core thread within society in the last many years, but especially right now. People love sports teams, and they love their professional athletes more than anything else, more than movie stars, more than your favorite singer, more than sports has become kind of many people's identities in their life. You're like, Phil is a Senators fan. That's his identity, more so than being an arborist. He's a Senators fan. I mean, it's just so in society's blood now to be a sports fan. If you are, for those that are, of course, you look at the Golden Show on the King Collectibles on Netflix. You look at Tom Brady opening up card shops every second week around the U.S. These things are bringing so much more attention to it. Like Fanatics talked about 10xing the hobby at the beginning, or Michael Rubin did from Fanatics. People laughed in his face. Oh, yeah, how are you going to do that? He's doing it. They are doing it. They're doing it, and they're doing it unconventionally. It might not be exactly measurable, but they're growing the hobby unlike anyone ever has before. And so I think that's a part of it too. Another thing, we're in this world of social media, digitization of everything. These are tangible items that you can actually still hold. And I think that the allure of that, no pun intended, Upper Deck brand, the allure to owning something tangible, I think people overlooked and thought was going to go away. And I think it's becoming stronger because everything else is all about digitization.
That's my point exactly. I was going to bring that up as you were talking. I do believe that as the life becomes so much more digitally lived, that there's going to be a pushback, right? It's a push and pull of nature, that to things that are tangible, that can be owned, but can also be shared online, right? So it's kind of the perfect mix of, it's something that is real, physical, that I can own and have and feel and touch and hold, but I can also have the social aspect of it through the internet with people all around the world.
Well said, and better than I said it. And also, there's just more money floating around now. There's more people with more discretionary savings or money in the bank that they can be out there spending, and that's got to do with where the economy's at and what's been going on, with the printing of money in the U.S., especially over the past 5 or 6 years. There just seems to be more financial resources out there and available. You asked about the sustainability of it. That's the trick into all of this. It ties back into the conversation earlier about, hyping up your cards on your diamond encrusted necklaces at the Oscars. Is it sustainable? And I had a great long conversation about this with Jason from Upper Deck. This was back in January, I think, about like, is it, and that wasn't a content conversation. It was a phone call we were having. And I think it might be a bit different this time. I'm not saying that it's going to last forever where we're at right now, but I think it is more sustainable now than it has been, than previous run-ups in the hobby have been. And I think a lot of that ties into what all these other reasons for where it's at today that we kind of just were mentioning.
Well, but markets go up and down, so it can't just only go up forever. That's it. What goes up must come down. But I think when I think of sustainability, is that there's a certain amount of people that are expecting the other shoe to drop or the big crash, and it does feel to me, and I always try to self-analyze, am I just wishful thinking here or not? But it does seem like that, like the foundation. Like the hobby's grown, but the foundation's grown with it, and so while it will come back, I really don't see the big crash at this point.
I was snickering because that's exactly what I was going to say. I was going to use that exact same word. I think that the foundation is stronger than it's ever been, and yes, you're right. The market is going to have its ups and its downs, but what's the overall if you smooth that out, which direction is that curve going? And I think if you were to smooth out, the last 5 years, the next 15, you're going to have the ups and the downs, but you're going to see a nicely sloping upwards curve, just like we always have. The hobby's always done that, so, but maybe it'll be a little bit steeper this time because there are more and more people coming into it. And you know what, Josh, the simplest answer to why it is where it is and is it going to sustain is yes and yes. You know why? Because it's freaking awesome. That's why.
Good answer.
The hobby's awesome. Cards are awesome. They're such a the other thing is that because sports and these athletes are now, they are the celebrities. They're almost godlike the way that they are propped up by the media and the public. And there's no way that I know of outside of sports cards to have a piece of that player, to feel like you own the experience of being a sports fan or the fan of a team or a player, a league, a sport. There's no way to feel you have a piece of it outside of sports cards. Some people might say, well, sports gambling or betting. Well, really? I mean, so you're going to bet the game tonight, or you're going to bet if one guy has 3 shots more than the other guy, like with all these prop betting. I think it comes down to feeling like you have a vested interest or an investment in these players that you enjoy. I try not to use the word idolize because I think it's kind of weird, but that you are so in tune with and wanting to see have success.
Can I throw out another reason that I think is not recognized by many, but is extremely important? Is we live in a world, and this is very scary to me, especially because I've spent my life in media and I feel like I understand it well, where there's not much of a shared reality anymore. If you've never done this, I encourage anyone, go to CNN.com and then go to FoxNews.com and look at the news, quote unquote. It's not news, but look at what the content is. You would think that it's reporting on different planets. Most days there's not a single thing that's the same, right? And so because it's all algorithmic content that's curated, that's designed to hit your psychological traps to get you to engage, to make you angry, to get you to click, all those sort of things. And so there's no concept of that shared reality, but sports is one of the last vestiges of that, where I can watch my wild play, Louis can watch the wild play, anyone can watch, and we're both experiencing the same thing. And you know, my Instagram feed is way different than yours. My TikTok, it's all, nobody has a shared experience hardly anymore. And I think that these shared experiences connect people and bind them.
Exactly right. Yeah, I think that's a great call out, Josh. The sports is, even though we have our differences and our rivalries, sports and even collecting is one place where it doesn't matter your background, where you live, who your favorite team is, what your political or religious or any other affiliations are. We all like sports and we all like cardboard. Yes, we have disagreements among us at times, but yeah. And the other thing, the word that came to my mind as I started to catch on to your reason, Josh, was escape. You know, the hobby and sports can be an escape for humans from all the problems in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Phil,
attractive.
Do you feel that the growth in this hobby is sustainable? Like, are you bullish on the future of it?
I agree that I agree about the foundation. I think our nucleus is bigger and stronger and more powerful than ever. We might, like, if you want to talk about it in market terminology, we might see a retraction, but I agree with Jeremy. I think it won't be, I don't know if you use the word, but negligible. We've grown so much. Our floor is so much higher. I think it's great. That constant argument is our breaks or is our hobby about gambling without making it a positive or negative. Social media made opening packs very exciting, made it look like kind of winning the lottery sometimes. So it brings a lot of civilians in, maybe to inquire into our hobby. I mean, just social media awareness, reels. It makes it kind of fun, nostalgic. I always try to give a 90s kind of vibe to my posts, because that's what card collecting reminds me of being a kid. So I think it's definitely,
you're such a civilian.
I think it's definitely sustainable, and I'm excited to be a part of it.
Okay, Jeremy, next question. So you've been in the hobby for a long time. Is the hobby better today in 2026 than it was in 2020, 2015, or 2005? Just kind of the major kind of last 20 years of the milestone years of the hobby.
That's such a multifaceted question. And, you know, you can go the direction of the cards themselves. Have they improved? The breadth of cards having grown so much, is that a positive or negative? But really, I come back to that question, Josh. To me, comes down to experience, and what I mean by is like our experiences of being a member of the hobby, and that to me comes down to the community. And I would say the hobby is the best it's ever been right now. I think it really, to answer quick, the hobby, it's never been better. It's never been better to be a part of the hobby. And especially if you are someone who is in the community, meaning you go to shows, you have an online, you either have an online presence, or you are consuming content, social media, YouTube, podcasts, that sort of thing. There's more content than ever. There's great content out there. And yeah, the hobby because the hobby is more than just buying cards and putting them in your sheets and your binders or in your boxes. The hobby is a lifestyle. Sports cards is a lifestyle. Motto of my show.
Sports cards is a lifestyle.
Sports cards, then what happened now? Yeah, I mean, Josh, the hobby's never been better. Now, a lot of people will say, what are you talking about, Jeremy? It's all about money and gambling and breaks and repacks and all this sort of stuff. Well, if that's what you choose to notice, and if that's what it is to you, that's fine. But for me, as a collector, I have more friends in the hobby than I've ever had before. I have access to more cards that I like than I've ever had before. I don't enter breaks. I don't really open wax. So none of that impacts my hobby experience. A lot of people like to say breakers ruined the hobby. They didn't ruin the hobby for me. I mean, I put out a very controversial post on this a couple weeks ago on Twitter and Instagram. Didn't ruin the hobby for me. I mean, and I'm not saying it didn't ruin the hobby for some people. If all you've ever done is open up boxes of cards to put together your
Yeah, but that's
set,
their problem.
well,
I want to start being honest about that.
but
That's
the
your problem.
The problem, Phil, is that they haven't adapted or pivoted, and maybe they don't
You
want
have to be adaptable. You have to be
That's up
adaptable.
to them. If you don't want to adapt or pivot, that's up to you. But you have two options: complain publicly like a sore loser, or adapt and pivot and find something. Because if you're going to complain publicly and be all sore about it, then the hobby's not for you anymore. I'm sorry, and I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about
Jeremy,
that.
you don't listen. I have great news. If you don't have to adapt to nothing, if you don't like something, if you don't like breaks, you don't have to adapt to breaks. You don't have to go in them. A lot of people are very responsible and love breaks.
Yeah, but
leave them alone.
I hear you, Phil. People say though is that breakers drove up the price of product, and now people can't afford to go to the LCS, buy a hobby box for $100 and build a set and have fun opening packs with their kids. That is why I say I'm sorry that that you can't do that anymore. But what you can do is go to the LCS and park by the value boxes with $50 and come out with 100 cards. You can easily do that. There are other ways to enjoy the hobby besides opening packs. Yeah, but we all grew up opening packs, bro. We also all grew up on talking on telephones that were tethered to the wall.
Blood change. If you don't move with the change, you're dead in the water. Listen,
dead.
don't be. Yeah. We all have an uncle that's living 30 years ago. Don't be your uncle. Like, move with the times, man. Move with the now. Let's go.
Get it. Why are you still complaining? Like, just why drive yourself crazy?
The best thing that ever happened to me in the hobby was 2023-24 Series 2, when at the time I was very much focused on the new products, being the guy that, would spend my money on flagship hobby boxes. And because it was so expensive with the Bedard bounty, the Young Guns bounty, and just the chase, and I didn't want to spend $400 on a hobby box, it really forced me to either quit the hobby or pivot. And there's only so much money in the hobby, and so when all the intentions on Macklin Celebrini, it leaves opportunities open in other ways. And I found 2012 Flair Retro, and I started collecting Mario Lemieux, and you can find some really great cards for not that much money, much less than a 2023-24 Series 2 hobby box, and I've never been happier as a result. And so you have to pivot, you have to adapt, you have to have the mindset of, well, that sucks that I don't, and we're going to see it with Extended. Extended's going to be expensive with the Schaefer debut patches, and you either let it ruin your experience or you go find another. This hobby is so vast, and even in hockey, and there's so many ways to collect that, like I said, if you're adaptable, I think you'll be okay. Yeah. Okay, last question. It's kind of self-serving, but we're all content people. What's good hobby content?
This is my favorite question. Now that I've been reminded of all of the questions, Josh, that you asked, because to me, good hobby content is it's simple. It's really simple. It's where the content creator is passionate and authentic about their subject matter and their the lane in which they're in. That's good hobby content for me. I don't have to like. There's one content creator out there who does a show on a topic that I'm not very interested in, but I listen to it anyway because I like listening to the content creator because he's passionate and authentic about what he's talking about, and I think for me that says a lot. Passionate and authentic delivery is what wins me over. And also, now we can get more specific because you can do that and be vlogging at a card show, covering deals, or doing a Gongshow style podcast, or doing, a more philosophical discussion. I like content that makes me think and expands my mind into the hobby. If I can learn something either about the hobby or about myself through listening to hobby content or consuming it, that's going to be good hobby content. If you challenge my way of thinking on something and win, and like to the point where wow, that makes more sense than how I was thinking about it before.
I love that. I love
I'm
those moments. Yeah.
I'm learning, like I've grown as a collector.
growth.
You know, I'm 46 years into this hobby. There's lots of room to still grow, learn things, and expand my knowledge in the hobby. If you can help me do that, you are serving up good hobby content. I'll stop
Yeah,
there.
I picked that up from your show that you listen to. You consume a lot of. You go on your walks and consume a lot of hobby content, and I think there's a lot of great creators out there. And to me, it's about authenticity. It's just about being you and like trying to give something back to the hobby through your content versus the content I don't like is I feel that in some cases people try to take from the hobby, and you can interpret that however you want to, but.
Yeah. Well, we're on the same page. Hobby content is, it's at an all-time high right now, but also there's a lot of hobby content out there that I just don't listen to or watch because it does. I don't find that I'm growing from listening or learning from listening to it. So I gravitate to the creators who help me achieve that goal of where I'm spending my time. And as a content creator myself, I strive to deliver the hobby content that makes you think about things and helps you grow as a hobbyist, as a collector. Maybe even if I'm lucky, between myself and my panelists, as a person, help people grow as people too. That's
Okay,
a
really
big
quickly,
thing
do you guys ever
strive
think
for.
it's weird that we're so into this?
No, man.
It's a
Yeah.
wholesome hobby. Yeah.
I think we're so fortunate that we have our hobby. I'm
That
so
we
lucky to
found.
have this. If I didn't have the hobby, and it's not just the cards I own, again, it's the community, it's
The
the
people.
friendship, and it's not just that. It's like being inspired. Good hobby content inspires you. It inspires you to search out a new lane to collect, a new type of card. It helps you discover something. It helps you see things in certain card sets, variations, whatever it might be that you never saw before. That's good hobby content. I mean, it's your question. I hear your question, Josh. But I think we're so fortunate that we have a hobby that we love. So I don't know what I would be doing with my life. Honestly, if I didn't have this hobby, I don't know what I would be doing with my life. I don't think I'd be nearly as happy as I am in life.
Phil would be doing a Disney princess
Yeah.
podcast, but we know that.
Maybe I
Okay.
already do. Maybe
All right.
I
Well,
just don't
thank you,
share it.
Jeremy. That was Deep Thoughts with Jeremy Lee. I really enjoyed that. I appreciate your perspective, but we'll go back to the kiddie pool now and finish out this Gong Show. New product release is brought to you by Gongshow partner sponsor GP Sport Cards and Total Sport Cards. Do you guys see the Grant's break on Friday night? He pulled a cup RPA or gold RPA Macklin Celebrini with the most ridiculous patch. So the prior sale of a gold was 78,000 US, and it was, I think, a 2-color patch, like a black and the teal blue. I don't know what that makes this one worth, but this is a very, very nice patch. So it's always exciting and Grant is usually so measured. When he kind of loses it a little bit, there's like the shaky breakers that if it's like a $2 Young Guns that kind of have a big animated reaction, and then there's Grant. It was fun to see him get very excited about it too. If you want to get on their Wednesday night breaks, go to gpsportcards.com. Also, you can hit up their shop in Etobicoke for the latest hobby releases, singles, or sell them your collection. Grant's always buying. Hit them up on Instagram or check out their website at totalsportcards.com. Okay, a couple of really quick new product release things. So we had another holiday set release again with an Easter theme. They did one, Upper Deck did one for Christmas for 25-26 Series 1 and I think they're hanger boxes mainly. What makes these notable, and now we have Series 2 that just came out with that Easter theme. What makes them notable is there's a couple parallels that people chase. First, you have the holiday Young Guns parallel. It's the same design as the Christmas one that has the gold foiling, or green foiling, I'm sorry, on the Upper Deck logo, and then the Young Guns badging on it. So in the instance of the Easter ones, we're going to have all the Series 2 Young Guns with Schaefer definitely leading the way there. Then, though, there's also a Easter themed Dazzlers that's out, which has got a purple background to it. Again, with some of the Series 2 Dazzlers people. The configuration is a little bit different. So in these hangers, they're actually 12 packs with 4 cards per pack, and you get one of the holiday themed Young Guns per box. So you'll have a 1 in 50 chance of getting the Schaefer there. And then I'm not sure the Dazzler odds because they're not published. But I don't know. You guys like stuff like this? You think it fun or
I don't
Not
look
for
at
me. Not for me.
No,
for you?
not
Okay.
It just adds confusion down the road for people. What is this? And more. I think it waters down the more important versions of cards as well.
Yeah, you get a little bit with e-pack achievements as well too. That those can introduce parallels that aren't part of the hobby.
It just makes
set
it feel loose. Doesn't make the set feel tight. It makes it feel
Yeah.
loose.
Yeah.
Then last thing is there's another update to the hockey release calendar. And well, if you're a hockey fan like us, not the best update, not horrible, but Flair was pushed. So that was supposed to release on the 8th of April. Now releases on the 15th, meaning that we're going to be like a full month between new products for new major releases from Upper Deck. We'll pause for a second to allow hobby shops and breakers to, I guess, breathe heavily into a paper bag, because I'm sure they're the ones. I don't remember the last time there was literally a month. It seems like we get a new release every week. So I don't know. I'm sure that there's some logistics reason behind that, but then it should get pretty hot and heavy after that. So we'll have Flair on the 15th of April, then followed by a week later of Metal Universe, then Credentials a week after that, and then on the following week on the 6th of May, we'll have 25-26 SPX. So yeah, we're in this sort of lull. But I don't know, any of those you guys are looking forward to?
I want to see Flair.
Yeah, ditto.
Yeah.
The delay doesn't affect me too much because I'm a singles buyer on that one, but an extra week for a good thing isn't too bad.
I love metal too, so actually all these SPX would be the one that would be the least collected by me, and I think as a set that needs maybe a little bit of an overhaul, kind of that icon. They used to have like Grand Finale, I think back in the day was, but I don't know if that's resonated recently with people or not. Phil, you ready to rip through mailbag?
I am. Yes, I'm ready.
Okay.
Okay, first question. Discord. Mad Dog Nav 78. Hello, captains of Gongery. Where do the card graphic designers stand in the pecking order at Upper Deck? Do you think they should get more recognition? I'll go first. Great question, Mad Dog. Hey, what's up, man? Live and die by the sword, though, so maybe they don't want the recognition, right? If they make a great card, yay! And then if they make a poopy card, no, you don't want that recognition. I do have similar silly thoughts and questions, though. So how are they compensated? Like per design? If the design goes well, do they get paid more? Imagine your performance review was based on Billy's gut feeling on the day, right? That'd be kind of odd. So I'm not really sure. I agree. Louis, what do you think?
I don't know about the pecking order, but what these people should get recognition for is what they do and for trying different things, even though we know some won't stick to a wall.
Good answer. Josh?
Well, first, thanks for frosting your tips for mailbag, Louis. That's
No
a
problem.
way to commit to the bit there. And I know one card designer, the GOAT, G. McLeod. I'll be honest, I don't think I can name a single other designer. And it did make you think. I wonder why they don't get more recognition, and how was Gene and Earl so iconic with arena designs that they were able to break through that barrier. I don't know, Jeremy, maybe you know.
No, I have a radical idea just popped in my head, so shoot it down if this is terrible. But I think that the designers should get more attention and should be celebrated by they are the stars of the show. They are the ones who are designing these things that we like. So I think that I don't know, like to the extent that products have decoys in them anymore and that kind of thing, or there should be a card on the checklist of the designer who designed the set saying, this is and on the back, talk about they designed this this, and this year. They've designed this in previous years. And give us some stats on the designers. Put some faces behind these things. I think that would go. I think that might. It could obviously backfire if they get bad reviews. But on the flip side, it could help build brand loyalty on some of these sets. It could. I would like to know who's, just like with grading companies, like who's grading these cards. You have no idea who's grading these cards. That might be tougher to put out there because, it's a whole different thing there. But yeah, man, I'd like to see a card of the designer in the set. Maybe not on the checklist, maybe as a decoy or as a filler or something. Just give them some attention. But again,
like an artist proofs copy for each card, like where they sign like a 101 or something like that. Here's the artist.
Sure. That's even better. Yeah, thank you for evolving the idea. Yeah, something like that. Find a way to give them some flowers in the set that they designed. I think that'd be pretty cool.
All right. Next question. Good answer, boys. Next question. Dunks. Now that the Gong Show is presented by Upper Deck, does the fact that you guys are in constant relations take away the almost surreal feeling behind it? What would young Phil, Josh, and Louis say if they knew the company behind their childhood was such a large part of their now besides just collecting their cards? It is awesome to hear at the start of each episode. Huge shout out to the three of you. Oh, thanks, Dunks. I'll go first again. I think this entire scenario would mean a lot more to me if Jason would return my phone calls. I'm sure he's just really busy. But I thought we were a little closer than maybe he led on to be. But that's okay. We're gonna see him in a few weeks. And yeah, so I mean that's good. What do you think, Josh?
Yeah, I don't know. I get the question. I don't think about it in that way. What I really try to focus on is the honor of, I guess, trying to be a conduit between the company and the collector. And you got to give Upper Deck a lot of credit for that they're more so than, Jeremy, you probably maybe know Fanatics better than I do, but it seems like Upper Deck is most willing to have people like Billy or Jason come on and kind of just share their thoughts behind their sets, answer tough questions at times, don't answer questions at times. We want the answers too, but they just seem to be taking it most seriously, connecting with the hobby.
Anybody else want to field this?
Sure, I'll answer it the way it was written.
I just say congratulations to the Gong Show on the success to date. It's been extremely well deserved and impressive, and you're helping the hobby with what you guys are doing. I was at the local show yesterday, and was chatting with this vendor actually who I didn't know, and he mentioned he said, "Oh, I think I've seen you on the Gong Show. I love those guys." He says, "I'm like,
oh,
yeah,
nice.
So you guys are out there. People know what's going on, know about the Gong Show, and you guys are doing a great job providing content and really in the hockey niche. It's important. It's great, and Upper Deck is very smart to be aligned with you guys. I think it's great. It just makes too much sense, really. So congrats.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Jeremy.
it. Louis, what do you think?
Just to answer how he was talking about the childhood stuff, like you said, the company has been part of my life since I was a wee lad, when they first came out with those baseball cards. And to be able to work with them one-on-one, and build individual relationships with them and reach out to them at will is really cool. And we appreciate it. I do, for sure.
I would venture to say that it was a bigger thrill for you guys when you had someone from Upper Deck on the show the very first time versus being, kind of in business with them now or having them as the main sponsor of the show. That was probably a bigger thrill than this question is alluding to.
I was so nervous. I was so nervous when Billy first came on because this whole experience again wasn't a plan. It was kind of a happy accident, and yeah, the reason why maybe we're super grateful and it's very needed, their support, but maybe you would say it didn't have the same splash was because it was 3 years in the making and we were both very, very, very careful on how we went. So it was like it just happened millimeter by millimeter over those and wasn't sort of the, oh crap, we're going to talk to Upper Deck on Tuesday kind of thing.
Yeah.
So good point.
All right, boys, let's move on here. Instagram, Dylan Kearney. I am in the United States of America and shop eBay for single cards, especially with current wax prices. One thing I've noticed, it's the wide range in shipping costs. A single card from Canada could be as low as $2 shipped untracked. Meanwhile, I see other cards with a $27.99 shipping cost. Are those people trying to be sneaky? Am I meaning to send counter offers with the total cost of shipping added in? Maybe I'm missing something here. Let me know.
Can I answer this, Phil? Because I think I can offer a good American perspective. That you guys have, many costs are insane in Canada, but what you guys pay for shipping on just normal stuff, even within your country, is ludicrous. Like, I can ship a card to Maui for about $4.30 for my doorstep in Minneapolis. And so I think for a lot of Americans, when they see that, like, and Phil, you told me a bunch, Phil, it could cost you $20 to ship something to Toronto.
Drives me nuts. We had one from last rip party. We had one gentleman, yes, you, Jared, not that you're listening, gave us the wrong address, or we wrote it down wrong. Doesn't matter. That's not a blame game. I sent it out. It was about $3 or $4, and with no tracking, because there wasn't even $10 worth of cards in there. Sorry again, Jared, but they're free. And then it got returned to me. I never thought anything of it, right? The only package. So we finally got his accurate address. He wanted tracking. Oh my God. $24. Where does he live? Toronto. Where do I live? Ottawa. Now, if you're listening, good listener, I understand you might, if you have the machine at home, you can shave that down to like $17-18. Listen, my good Canadian fellow neighbors, we pay a ridiculous amount for a lot of things. Cell phone bills, most in the world, the biggest in the world, man, in the world. Internet, the most in the world. Shipping, some of the most in the world. Public transportation, some of the most in the world. I'm not trashing my country. I'm just trying to make it better. Please understand that. Last time we talked, the only reason I'm being intense right now, last time we talked about mail, I can't even tell you, old farts who are 65 and 70, man, do you guys just love to sit at home and make all the insignificant things in my day the most serious in yours? If I spent $2 to $3 more on a package, oh my God, I got 131 essays all the time. Phil, stop ragging on Canada Post. It shouldn't have been $23. You could have got that to $19. Okay, guys, got it. Josh, we spend a lot of money on mail here. Yes.
So I think if somebody's not familiar with that and aware of what things cost in your country, that it can seem like exorbitant.
But it's been normalized up here, right? I even to me, I didn't wave whatever the expression is. I didn't bat an eye when the woman told me it was like 24 and change. I'm like, yeah, whatever. I mean, I should have just I would have been nice if he just waited. I could have brought it to the expo, but yeah, $25 for cards that are worth $6. Okay, we should move on.
Okay.
Well, I need to. All right, X. Twitter. Tedo Coda. Do you guys know if the debut patches are going to be in retail? Jeremy, we call this a Josh question.
Yeah. I did ask Upper Deck. I asked Billy, and he didn't know if he was allowed to tell me. And so I didn't get that answer in time.
Okay. Moving on. Next question. Discord. Baker. Don't mind if I do. Aside from the 101, what is your favorite O-Pee-Chee Platinum Parallel? Louis, why don't you go first?
Juicy here. So my first pick would be the Shield from 23-24 and then the 24-25 mixed media.
Josh?
I struggle with this one. I had to list two. So Seismic Gold out of 50, and then I'm a huge fan of the Retro Houndstooth Parallel too. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Some years are bad though, man. Some years are
24 Houndstooth are amazing.
I'm gonna answer the question properly, unlike my compadres here. I'm gonna give one card. So Seismic Gold, by far number one. There's no comparison. Well, maybe gold, maybe Golden Treasure, but other than that, Jeremy, what do you think? Do you have any platinum?
Well, Seismic Golds are the most beautiful. I agree, but orange checkers, I like some of those as well. Okay. I have a couple in my collection, so I enjoy those.
Louis, what do you think? Oh, you already answered. Never mind. I'm sorry. Okay,
Right
YouTube.
answer.
Next question. YouTube, Campty. Phil, hello.
Hi.
Since Yakimchuk made his debut this week, he sure did. Do you think he will make it into extended series this year, or will he be held back for the 26-27 Series 1? Also, please don't hoard his gold RPAs when his cup cards come out. I have no idea how to answer your first question. I'm not good when it comes to knowledge and releases and
There's no
Stop.
chance he'll be in extended. He would
There
have
you
to
go.
be in Series 1.
surround yourself with smarter people, Campty. You see, he answered for you. And I can't make any promises on that, brother. Come on, let's not be. Just find them before me. I won't get upset. I'll find them before me. That's all. All right. Next question. Discord. Mad
Hope
Dog
you
78.
practiced. Did you get your practicing in here?
Practice singing.
Oh, I'm looking forward to this one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, son of a. Okay, I realized what it is.
You have to do it
Okay.
in the right accent.
I gotta think. Okay. I'd like to propose the first ever Gong Show law, and the gongers did saying. Now, spake means that's an old way of saying it past tense of spoken. Okay. First shalt thou establish the Madigan line at 199. Then shalt thou count to 199. No more, no less. 198 shalt be acceptable, and 199 the number thou shalt count. Anything numbered greater than 199 shalt be cast out from rare and deemed merely numbered.
Good job, Philip.
Thank you.
Nailed it.
Okay. I don't know what any of that meant, though.
No, that
does
was
he mean?
my comment where I consider like my in the pantheon of numbered parallels. Like
Yeah.
I lose interest after 199.
Oh, yeah. No, I thought gold glitter bomb should be 50, not 199. All the gold
Yeah.
should be 50. Cohesion, unity. Strength lies in unity. Okay, let's go. Discord, Gunther Cards 96. Hey guys, what's up, Gunther? Love the top 10 worst buys segment. Hoping for more in the future. Maybe top 10 best buys. Top 10 PC cards for you guys. It's with the rhyming, man. Or top 10 inserts. I wanted to ask, would you rather question? What? I wanted to ask you.
A would you rather question.
Oh, I wanted to ask you a would you rather question. Would you rather a platinum marquee golden treasure or an exquisite RPA of your favorite player? Keep up the great work, boys. What are you, crazy? Golden treasure. Sorry, my
GT.
answer. Yeah.
GT.
Jeremy, are you going against the Gust or?
Platinum Marquee Golden Treasure. So that's the one of one rookie
Yeah,
card in platinum
Brady, I bought off you, yeah.
versus the exquisite RPA of your favorite player.
Which is numbered
my
to the player
gosh, I'm
jersey's
big-
number.
Yeah, no, I mean that's not a game used patch, is it?
No.
No.
So it's just give me the Golden Treasure all day long. It's not even close.
Ding, 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 ding. Unanimous victory. All right. Instagram, Southish Mike. Your team is next up in the draft. For whatever reason, Gavin McKenna is still available. Do you want your team to draft him? Yes, I would, but probably for the wrong reasons. Yeah.
What does that mean?
I don't know. He's probably a bit of a troublemaker. He's got some, he's rough around the edges. I like him. Put him on the ice. I don't know, dude. Someone made fun of his mom. He knocked him out. What? That's a wrong reason to draft the kid. Jeremy, do you have any thoughts on that?
No, I'm not. Yeah, of course I want to draft
Okay.
Gavin McKenna, and I like a guy who sticks up for his mother. So
Exactly.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
Absolutely, and he was let off of that completely because he had a good reason to do what he did. So
100%. He is canceled out by the law. He's good to go. Louis, Josh, any?
You run that card up to the short, bald man immediately.
Pardon?
What?
Your team is next up for the draft.
Oh, the
you
draft
run your
card.
draft card up immediately.
I got you.
Got it. I'm picking
God.
up what you're putting down. Okay.
Hockey podcast.
We can. I know. We can move on, Phil.
Boy, say something,
Facebook,
Josh.
RB Allen. What's that?
Nothing.
Okay. Facebook, RB Allen. When should you be concerned about pop count on modern cards, i.e. Bedard and Celebrini Young Guns? Ooh, I don't know. Yesterday. I don't have an opinion on the matter. Does Louis? Louis, do you have an opinion?
I agreed with yours.
Well, I just because I write it doesn't mean I listen, man. If we read a lot of what we write, I didn't write anything. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, if the pop count is your concern, then like on a Young Guns, then go for something else like Silver Outbursts or switch it up a little bit.
To me, that's the ding, ding, ding. Like the Silver Outburst would be my floor, and it actually makes me interested in the Young Guns.
Okay, Jeremy, any thoughts?
Well, the question, the question really tells the question almost answers itself. I mean, if you, Young Guns and pop counts are synonymous. Like there is pop. You should always be concerned about pop counts when it comes to Young Guns because it's the most graded card in hockey cards. So if you're concerned with pop counts, you're collecting the wrong cards. You should not be collecting Young Guns, I would say.
Good call. We all answered. Let's go. Next question. Kalen Anderson. Have Dazzlers ascended into being cool now that Phil likes them? Obviously. Anyone else?
Don't bring this up again.
Jerry?
I think that they're cool. I don't know if they'll be valuable long term, but I think they're a great card to collect and an
probably
awesome
not.
card to collect.
They are called Dazzlers. I mean, listen, I know everything's accepted, but some things just aren't cool sometimes, and I don't think that word is. Okay, let's dazzle on. Next question. Michael Scally. What's up, Michael? I have collected every Young Guns base since the 2018-19 set, keeping them in top loader binders. Right on, brother. One book holds 2 seasons worth. Okay. If I hold them, will the value of this set appreciate, or do the individual cards hold more value? Oh, I misread this originally. I had a cheeky response. I was going to say, well, it depends on the player, dude. That's not your question. I don't think the set's worth much, man. As a set collector, nobody cares. Sorry.
The set will be worth the sum of like the 4 or 5 best cards. Everything else, when you sell that set, you're gonna throw in everything else. Ooh. The buyer's gonna pay you for the top 4 cards, and everything else will be a throw in.
There's no premium. There's no premium of what you think there is, man. I wish there was. I wish there was a program with Upper Deck where we could do like a trade-in, or I wish they would reward the collector like they do on EPAC. You know, but I'm sorry. Like I would love to give you a beautiful lie, but I'm going to give you a crappy truth. There's no premium on your set.
Collect the set because you want to have all the players represented in your collection, not because you think it's going to be worth something. Because if you think you're collecting the whole set because it's going to be worth something, you're going to have out of the 100 cards a year that are young, or with extended Series 1, Series 2, you get 50 Young Guns in each set or so. 40 of them are going to be worth close to 0, and 10 will be worth something. And but at least you have them all represented.
Did you read my notes, Jeremy? Jeez.
I did not have access to the notes for this episode. No.
Anybody, Louis, anything, Josh? No?
I said exactly what Jeremy did. You basically price the best and toss in the rest.
That's right. When it comes time to sell. But enjoy the process, enjoy collecting, because that's what it's about. It's fun.
Okay, next question. Instagram. Lucas Betko. That's a cool name. Question on how to start collecting your favorite cards with future stocks rising. Also, what types of cards, breaks, and boxes do you recommend? I'm out of this question. I don't know how to answer this.
I think I have an answer. It's that in Lucas, what I would tell you is that if your mode and preference of collecting is the latest, greatest, and newest, it's always gonna be expensive and price prohibitive. The best, I mentioned earlier, with my experience with the Bedard Young Guns chase, is find other areas in the hobby that don't have the giant attention or focus on them, and you'll find better deals there. But if you want to, I get the appeal of having the newest product, the newest rookie card the day it comes out, but you have to realize that will always cost a premium.
Louis, you want to take a stab at that?
Yeah, I just said it. Depending on the player, start with a small mix instead of chasing everything of that person, and buy when the market's not as hot. There'll come a time.
All right. Next question. Instagram, Top Shelf Cookie Sniper. Hey, Jay. Oh, Jay got me this t-shirt. It's upside down. Doesn't matter. Okay. When Brady Tkachuk decides to get traded to Florida next season, I'm burning the t-shirt. Phil, how fast will you sell your PC for him and for what discounted percentage? Hashtag Phil loves David Pasternak. I need to clear a few things up. I know, Jay, you love implying that I hate Pasternak. I don't know if I need to be the villain in that, I'll do it for you. I don't think about David Pasternak. He's in my division. I'm not. Why would I like him? It's so silly. He's an incredibly good player, and I would take Austin Matthews on my team over David Pasternak. By the way, have that. And if Brady ever gets traded, I will always keep his cards because I love the way the big head Mongoloid plays hockey. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where he goes. I mean, I'd rather he didn't get traded to Carolina. That would kind of suck. But I wish him and the way he plays hockey and his family nothing but the best and success. Yeah.
Since you brought up Carolina, I couldn't even watch the Devils game yesterday or 2 days ago because they were playing Carolina. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, it's not. And I like Jarvis and Svechnikov. I mean, they got great players. Well, we'll see. We got a few weeks to go here, boys. We're gonna have a great playoffs. Next question, Facebook, Brian Kling. I love your Get to Know Hall of Famers segments. Would you consider putting them in a long-form compilation-style video, maybe by class or year, along with 100 hockey player series from the NHL? You are all providing some of the best early hockey history on YouTube. Thanks, guys. Oh, thanks, Brian. That's really spearheaded by Josh, so I'll let him field the rest of that.
I want to do something with it. It's just a matter of what to do and time. But thank you for reminding me that we should probably organize and create a little reference tool to those.
All right, 5 questions left. I really like this question, so I'll answer it first after I announce it with my noises my face makes. Okay. Hey, fellas, as an avid Cujo collector, I'm waiting patiently for the day he finally makes it into the Hall of Fame. 2 questions for you guys. Do you think a player's hobby value receives any additional value once acquiring Hall of Fame status? And number 2, aside from Cujo, I don't put me into your list. You're trapping me. But anyway, aside from Cujo, who else would you consider a Hall of Fame snub? Okay, so number 1, do I think a player's hobby value receives any additional value once they get into the Hockey Hall of Fame? I only have one experience with that, and that's Daniel Alfredson. I'm his biggest collector by far on the on planet Earth. Nothing happened when he got inducted into the Hall of Fame. I don't really sell his cards, but I still buy them. I didn't even see anyone really try to increase the prices of his cards. I don't know. So maybe I'm not. Jeremy would be a much better when we get to him. He'll answer that. My personal experience, I did not notice a change. Okay, and the part that I really want to talk about: who else do I consider a Hall of Fame snub? McGillney is what comes to mind with everybody. He's probably the biggest snub right now, over 1,000 points, historical significance. He defected from the USSR. Here's a sleeper. Well, maybe not. Rod Brindamore, 2-way dominance, elite leadership, cup winner, final boss for the Selke Trophy. I mean, just give it to him. I don't think he was flashy enough, but insanely respected. Jeremy Roenick, big personality, big numbers, 500 plus goals. Over 1,000
Roenick's
points.
in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, he is? I didn't know.
Last year.
Oh, that's great. Okay, right on. Okay, so honorable mentions: Fleury, Verbeek, and Pierre Turgeon, Chris Osgood.
No Papa Walt?
Yeah, he should be in there, but he's not top of my list. Just because I like his son doesn't mean I have to like dad.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so happy. Roenick. Oh, I don't even remember that. That's not something I remember to forget. That's great, man. Good for JR. American.
Great Hall of Fame speech, too.
Oh, really? Oh, good. I'm going to look that up after. Jeremy, I'll give you time to think if you want. Louis, go ahead.
First question answered is I don't know about the value, but I know collectability has got to go up for their players who like to collect Hall of Famers. And to be a little different, I still think that Patrick Elias is a huge snub. I mean, over 1,000 points, 2 cups, leads his franchise in goals, assists, points, but he was that quiet superstar, so I think that's what hurts him maybe.
Hall of Good, though. That's where I struggle. This is where I struggle with these questions. I love talking about it, but I'm not passionate about any. I like if Daniel Alfredson never made it to the Hall of Fame, that would be unfortunate, but I'd get it. You know, like I would get it. He you know, are people going to remember Daniel Alfredson in 100 years? Probably not, man.
I don't know.
You know, Josh, what do you think?
Tkachuk would be the name I would add, and I actually think, and I'm interested to get Jeremy's perspective on this too. I think getting in the Hall of Fame has almost zero hobby value at all. I've never seen a bump.
Jeremy, thoughts?
Yeah, I think the bump comes from the unexpected person getting in. It's a very short-term bump, and it lasts for, you know, about a week and a half, and then everything goes back to normal. So, and the reason it gets the bump is, you know, just more headlines, and then people who want to collect all the Hall of Famers all of a sudden need to add that player to their collection. Like, you know, but, you know, you think about a guy like Cujo. I mean, if you want Cujo's rookie card, or, you know, you've got it already, it's going to have no impact on the rest of his cards. It's a rookie card thing for the most part. I mean, negligible otherwise. And then McGillney, I like the McGillney call out for who should get in.
Do you now? What makes Cujo more deserving than Chris Osgood? That's my question there. Chris Osgood has 3 Stanley Cups. How many does Cujo have? None.
Yeah.
Does he have? Did Curtis Joseph win a cup? I don't believe so. I don't think so. Oh, somebody check. Louis, check quick. Okay, next question. Hopefully people forget. Okay, Instagram. Jason Smith. If the Blackhawks somehow get Gavin McKenna, could you see the prices of Connor Bedard rookie cards and rookie hobby boxes going up, or am I just crazy? I'll go. I think even though Bedard's prices are kind of dipping lower, they're still astronomically high. I think he has to like score 40 goals a year to maintain these prices. I think it just shot up too high. I'm not the best to talk about this stuff though, but
There'll always be one guy who's leading the pack on any given team. Look at Crosby and Malkin. It's always been Crosby. Look at McDavid and Draisaitl. It's always been McDavid. Gretzky and anybody. It's always been, right? It's just the way it works. Even in the old Stamkos days of Tampa Bay, it was always Stamkos. So there's one of whoever's the better player will lead the pack. The other guy will suffer. His cards will suffer because he will be overshadowed by the first guy. That's what I think will happen.
Louis, anything to add there?
No, we'll leave it at that.
All right, Josh.
I think Bedard, it would be unrelated. Blackhawks break prices would go up. I think that's what would go up the most.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, next question. Instagram. Suzuki Ichiro cards. When you look at card prices for veterans, right now there is a noticeable price gap between McDavid and Crosby, with McDavid being top dog. Let's just say McDavid continues his pace and doesn't win a cup, or maybe just one. Does Crosby eventually overtake McDavid for top spot as this generation's hobby king when things are all said and done? Or are the records and trophies enough to keep McDavid at the top? Louis, why don't you take this one first?
Okay, well, it's a no for me. I say Crosby likely holds a long-term hobby legacy with cups and just being Crosby, but I think McDavid stays on top if he keeps smashing records with one or no cups.
Can I go next, Phil? Because I want you Canadians to tackle this last.
Yeah, I don't have anything strong to say.
Well, I just feel like this is more of a Canada question, and my question to you guys would be: is there anything that could possibly happen at this point where McDavid would be more meaningful to hockey in Canada at the end of from a legacy perspective than Sidney Crosby?
No.
Dude. Go ahead, Jeremy.
He would need to win 4 Stanley Cups with the Oilers. That's the only way. 4 is the number. It's not 3. It's not 2. It's not 1. It's 4, and that's it. After otherwise, no. Sidney, Louis was right. I agree with like down the road, Crosby. Like right now, McDavid. He's just the flavor of the decade sort of thing. You know, he is the best player on the ice, but he's just not a winner in the NHL. So down the road, if he doesn't win, it's going to be Sidney Crosby will be the one who is remembered and most heavily adored by fans, I believe, down the road, hobby-wise.
I can't even compare the two at this point. I don't even know how to ponder the question. Crosby's a true GOAT up here in Canada.
True goat.
McDavid's more of a prince, I would say, but a prince of what? You haven't gotten your kingdom yet.
In the,
Prince
in
of
the
Silver.
pantheon
He's the
of
Prince of
Can-
Silver. Second
Prince
place.
of Silver and teddy bears.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. In the pantheon of Canadian hockey, is it Gretzky, Howe, Crosby, or is there any chance that Crosby nudges above Mr. Hockey and the legacy perspective?
Eventually, but not yet. I think
I
it's,
don't know.
I think it's Gretzky or Howe, Lemieux, Crosby. Like it's that.
Okay.
Yeah. And a lot of people start with Orr. A lot of people put Orr on top ahead of Gretzky.
Fair.
I never do, but we got to, mention that.
Hey, Jeremy, we got 2 shorty questions left. You got time for those 2 short ones? And then your personal pickups?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we'll breeze through it.
Next question, Knox Cards. Yeah. Why is 2025-26 extended series on pre-order for $250 American dollars? It's ridiculous. Obviously Carter Yakimchuk's in the set. I'm sorry, I apologize. My process.
Because the market will bear it and it will get paid. That is why, you guys, people will pay it.
Mm-hmm. Easy enough.
All right, next question. Ed Lister. Hey guys, is Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, card shows, or whatnot considered private sales, or is it just auction sites and eBay public sales? You don't check Facebook or the comps, but there is a lot of sales on social media. Ed, I don't have an answer to your question, but I put your name in the song on Friday night, and you logged on like 3 seconds after it said it. So make sure you go back Friday night and check out the song at the beginning and at the end. Maybe one of the boys can answer questions.
Wouldn't everything you just said there be private sales? I was thinking that like eBay, Golden Heritage Auctions, Fanatics Collect, PWCC, blah, 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 would be your best for finding cops. Isn't that what Card Ladder will follow?
Well,
Yeah.
I just think it comes down to public sales have reports that we can reference. Private sales, there's no third party reference of them, so that's why they're comps.
Yeah. There's no one aggregating.
Thank you, Phil. Good leader. Personal pickups, Phil. You got something to share?
Sure do, buddy.
We'll jump to Jeremy so he can get out.
Yeah,
if he
go
needs
Jeremy.
to.
Oh, Jeremy, if he has to go. Okay.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, let's bring it up. Boop.
Oh,
We'll start here.
Ooh.
yeah. Last year I picked up in the summer I picked up a collection from a local collector who was like a master Pacific collector, and you guys saw a bunch of those binders, and I ended up like getting high on my own supply pretty seriously because after the show in the Schwann, the Saskatoon show, I kind of decided like, man, I've fallen in love with these, and I've started a Pacific hockey patch collection from like 2000 to 2004. And this is 03 private stock titanium. It's a Joe Sakic patch out of 150. And it's one of the sets of patches that I've decided to collect, not the whole checklist, but some cards from players I like. While we've been on the show, about 3 minutes ago, I bought the Daniel Alfredson from this set, Phil. It's numbered out of 155. I got it because the guy offered me on ComC, and I bought the card. So
Nice.
I love these cards, remember them from back in the day, and I'm collecting them now. And we talk about adapting to the hobby.
Mhm.
I bought the Alfredson literally like 5 minutes ago. For, it was more than I wanted to spend. It was 24 ComC dollars. But you know what? I don't see it. And there were only 2 that ever showed up on Card Ladder, and not one in like several years. So I grabbed it, and I'm very
Nice
happy.
patch? Does it have a nice patch?
Yeah, it's got a nice patch too. That's one. It's got a
Nice.
3-color patch: black, red, and
Oh,
white.
I can't wait to see it. Nice.
Out of 155. This is a card I bought from Patchy McPatchers on Instagram, a local buddy of mine, and it's just a cool Matt Sundin patch card from really the first set that had a patch this big. Was what is this? I think it's 04 Ultimate Collection, I believe it is. And these Ultimate patches were, when they hit back in that year, I mean, they were all the rage. Like, people loved them, and so yeah, he's a local guy. We meet up every so often for coffee, and we do a little show and tell, and we end up trying to buy cards from each other. And I got this one from him.
Oh,
Auto. I love auto patches, and Jean Beliveau. Look at the autograph. Not just how he signs every letter, but how bold and blue the autograph is, and to pair it up like on card auto with a piece of game used Jean Beliveau patch. I have a lot of auto patches in my collection. I don't have any Belliveaus. I now do. This is actually an auto jersey, but it's good enough. Like there's a patch version out of 10, I believe. Mitch Grotman has one. It's beautiful. but I'm happy with this. I love the vintage mesh jersey on this one, and love the card.
You have a Dion Limited logos that's pretty chunky, don't you, Jeremy? Or did you let that go? I thought I remember you have a.
I'm not sure, Phil. I don't think I do
before the
right
expo,
now.
you should check for me because you should.
You should. Oh,
I'll send you a text. I'll remind you.
This is from Pat. This is from him as well. Bought this in the same purchase from Patchy McPatchers, the 2017 LaFontaine emblem of endorsement. I love this card. I've got a lot of great memories of Pat LaFontaine from doing hockey pools back in like the mid 80s when he first came into the league. And I just think that the obviously emblems of endorsements are beautiful. Great autograph, nice bright blue. Both patches are 3 colors. It's got, nice even distribution of colors. I just love this card. When I saw it, I'm like, can I please buy this from you? And we came to a deal, and I love this in my collection.
Let me guess, another Patchy Patcherson.
Also from Patchy McPatcher. Yeah, I don't have a lot of Leaf cards in my collection, but Solani's my all-time favorite player or professional athlete for that matter. And this has the old Winnipeg Jets Gold for Kids. I believe it's from the Goals for Kids patch on the shoulder. And, he gave me a great deal on it. And I just thought it was a cool card to add to my collection, which I did. I got a bunch here. So this is the first of 2 of these Upper Deck game dated moments cards. And when they first came out, I just wasn't interested in the game dated moments. And then I realized, well, they do these gold variation, which are not numbered, but they're printed out of 100 copies. And I thought to myself, like, Carvin Chung really got me tuned into this concept of like a moment captured on a card. And that's what game data moments do. It's right there in the name. And I've started to really look at some of these game data moments cards and figure out which ones do I want to own. And I want the gold ones. I don't want the regular ones. I want the rarer ones. And I've got 3 in my collection altogether now. And this is the first of 2. And this one celebrates Ovechkin being the 3rd player in NHL history to score 800 goals. I love the picture. I love the celebration. I think they're cool. And so I have this and 2 others. And maybe
are they spendy?
The other one.
Are they spendy, Jeremy?
What's that?
Are they expensive? Are they spendy?
Oh, not that bad. I think
okay.
I bought these on ComC. I think they were, maybe $120 or something like that.
Oh, great.
I think Phil, I don't remember exactly, but yeah, they're just really cool cards. There's only 100 of them, and they are Upper Deck's main card that celebrates these moments. I think that's got lasting power. I think it's got collectability power. I think they're meaningful. They're cards with meaning, and that's important to me.
Nice. Sticking with Ovi.
Yeah, this is I think this one's numbered out of 50 or
50.
50. Thank you. You listen, it's a weird design from Metal Universe Z-Force, the super. It's not the Cyper Rave, it's the Super Rave.
Oh, yeah.
But it's I bought this on ComC, and I think I had it sent to PSA for grading through ComC. It came back in a PSA 10 holder. I have it in hand. I take delivery of it, and it's a cool OV card for the collection.
Right.
I like that it's rare.
It's the first year of the 2023s. Just to go back really quick, and I have a bunch of these. I actually think the 2024s look a little bit better, but the 2023s are the first, so you have to juggle that.
Yeah, I'm glad that you're the guy. You know these things in and out, right? So, yeah, appreciate the context, Josh. This one here is really cool. It's another one I bought. I think I bought this raw and had it graded, like brought on ComC, graded through PSA through ComC. Anyway, the Metal Universe Premium Player Connor Bedard. This is a throwback to the late 90s in basketball. I forget what year it came out, and I think it's numbered to 50. Is that right, guys? Numbered to 50 on the back.
Josh question.
I don't know about this one. I don't remember.
This one, I'm just trying to find my purchase of it because it's in 2020. Yeah. Oh, here it is. Yeah. Oh, it's numbered out of 99. It's the gold version. I got this for $97. It's a Connor Bedard rookie year card out of 99 from Metal Universe with lineage to the late 90s. It's beautiful. And it's a steal. Like, it's out of 99. What's it? I got it for 1/6 the price of a Young Gun. It makes no sense to me.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's crazy. So there's so many needles in the haystack out there within Upper Deck products now where you can get cards that are way cooler than the Young Gun, in my opinion, and get them for a fraction of the price, and they're way rarer. So just a cool one of 2 Bedard rookie cards, rookie year cards that I have.
This is one of my favorites here.
The other Bedard rookie year card is from this set here, the O-Pee-Chee Premier Diamond Rainbow.
Big fan of Premier on the channel. Yeah,
me too. I love these Diamond Rainbows. They're numbered. This one I bought it, had it graded, came back at PSA 6. I don't even, the grade is irrelevant to me, because let's face it, I could send this in to get an 8 next time probably, so it doesn't even matter. Just a great card, beautiful card. And I'm collecting these. When I say I'm collecting these Diamond Rainbows, I'm not collecting the sets. I'm collecting like what I call a flight of cards from it, like a sampling from the checklist. And that sampling is pretty much Crosby, Ovechkin, and McDavid.
Okay.
I'm thinking about bringing Makar into the fold. We'll see.
Oh, why not?
Boy. Baby Bobby Orr.
Bring him.
This next one was a LCS pickup at the card shop at Eastridge Hobbies here in Calgary, right off the showcase. Listen, not a lot of Marian Hossa auto patches out there in this hobby, and this one's out of 10 with a feather patch. I don't think I could go wrong with this. Listen, I don't necessarily remember Hossa as a Blackhawk that much. I remember him more as a Senator, Phil.
Yeah.
Like his old Donruss, what is it? The Donruss Elite rookie card was
should have kept him. Should have kept him.
Yeah, but just a cool card from an LCS.
Righty then.
I sent Louis a lot of pickups. I hadn't.
That's
been a
fine.
while.
You've been busy.
I doubled this one up.
This is worth a double. So this is cool because I've been collecting this Upper Deck Masterpieces set for years, and this is called the Black Framed Leather Prime Memorabilia Parallel. These are out of 25 or 35, depends on the player. And there's 153 cards in the set because some players on the main checklist didn't have memorabilia for, so they had to skip number this parallel. And 153 cards on the checklist. I was needing 9 cards for about 3 years, and then these 2 showed up on Slab Sharks a few weeks ago, and I managed to buy them both. And that was the first 2 cards I've added to my set, like I said, in about 3 years. Now I'm down to 7 of 153 that I need, and Yari Curry and Zdeno Chara, like, talk to me. Great guys to add to the set. I just love this set. It's one of the few sets that I still collect where I actually, am abiding by the checklist. I love these cards. I still need, like I said, 7 of them. If anyone knows or can help me find them, I would be grateful to buy the other ones. If I could quickly list off the ones I need, guys, I can do it really quick. I have it right here. I need Keith Yandel, Ryan Johansson, Thomas Plekanec, Adam Henrique, Bill Barber, and then from the high numbers out of 15, I need Ovechkin and Yzerman. That's it.
Gotcha.
Thank you,
when
guys.
these went up on Slab Sharks, are you like, crap, I got to bid whatever it takes?
Yes. Oh, yes. I bid on them. So I got them. I won. Altogether with shipping, it was under $100 for the pair. My high bid on each of them was my bid was over $200 on each of these cards, and I got them both for under like $60.
Nice.
Nice.
I mega bid on them.
Mega bid.
All right.
Yeah.
Ta-da.
Is this the last one, Louis?
I hope so.
No. I hope so. Shut
Hey.
up, Phil.
This is on you, bro.
12
you gotta
hours
go. You gotta
later.
This is my favorite one, guys. Listen, 1998 Finest Centurions, the refractor. These are numbered on the back to 75, I believe. It's a Team Solani. I think this is a key 90s card for players that have them. Like, there's fewer of these than there are StarQuest Golds. There's fewer of these than there are Bowman Atomic Refractors. So I've never owned this card before, and it's just beautiful. I love Topps Finest from this era, and I bought it graded off of eBay just like this, and the guy was awesome who I bought it from. It's just over $100. It was amazing. I love this card. I'm so happy to have this card. One of my favorite Solani cards in my collection.
Good. Are you
I
happy
wish
to have
we had-
this, Solani?
What's
Sorry,
that?
Go, Phil. Go, Phil.
Can you go back?
Sure. Oh,
I wish if the card's going to be called a Centurion, I wish there was a Centurion helmet on the soldier.
Fair.
I don't understand why it's called that.
100 points,
I don't see
probably.
anything
100 point man. 100 point man.
Thank you.
This is back to what we were talking about with that Sakic, the first one. Another Pacific patch set that I'm chipping away at slowly, not with no intentions to collect the whole set, but to pick up players I like. And how could I not get the team with Solani? Yeah. So
Weren't you selling these in the Saskatoon though, Jeremy? Or was that a different Pacific?
not these cards that I just picked up, but yes, I had several cards from these sets for sale.
Okay,
and I still do. Just not players.
Not the players you want.
Yeah. And then is this the last one, Louis?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Another one of those sets. These are McDonald's Prism patches from 2001. I mean,
look at that,
Alfie. Right? The Alfredson and the Koivu. I love these cards.
Both 11.
I just love that I can own game use patches of all these players and I consider this to be vintage memorabilia. Like this is the beginning of patch cards, not the very, but this is early patch cards. Like they're just awesome. I'm so glad that I clued into this collection back in 2025, and I've got like 85 cards in this PC now. All because I had a head start, remember, from the collection I purchased. I'm like, I'm not selling these. I'm keeping these for myself, and I'm gonna go build the collection out now. And I've been doing that. And I've been having so much fun. You know, this 45 years into collecting, and you can still find something new to collect and get excited about. That's kind of the message through this these mail days.
Awesome.
Nice, great
pickups.
Well, we can send you off, sir, before we get into ours if you're in a crunch.
I don't want you to get jealous, Jeremy. You might as well log off.
Oh, keep going. I want to see.
We'll go quick. We'll wrap this up quick.
I haven't been beckoned yet, but I'm
all right. Philly.
Oh, it's me. It's my turn. Yes. So what we have here is a 23-24 EX 2000, Josh Madigan's favorite set. There are diamonds in the rough, and this is one of them. It is not. Well, I don't really know. Josh, are these numbered? Because the reds are numbered, but the golds
they're
are
just
not.
very rare.
Yeah, okay. So I have the red, and when I got the red, I was like, man, I got to get the gold. I got to be honest, I like the red, the way it looks better, but I'm very happy I got the gold as well, which was more expensive than
the red are e-pack achievements. The gold were pack pulled.
They're cool. Achievements.
Achievements, yes, for the merits I have completed. Then we have a 2013-14 O-Pee-Chee Easter egg stamp, Wayne Gretzky. It's excellent. I have 2 Crosbys. I only have the 1 Gretzky, and I'm really happy. I sent Louis a picture of the back of the card because that to me means a lot to me as well. I love a good back of a card, and so that's going right into my fun binder with my Gretzky's.
Here's another back.
Ooh, so a couple of things on here. This card is not graded, but I would love to. I haven't talked to Jeff in a week or so. Jeff Mullen at the Authority. But I love the slabs that have these. Like, that's a wicked card in a wicked slab. I can't take it out because it is. It's kind of
not a wicked slab. What do you mean that's a
forget
wicked
this?
slab?
I like the way it says Crosby and it has yellow. I want to get like if Tag had a program that I could get custom and interchangeable in my cards and nice clear plow or CSG. I like those slabs too. I want custom made slabs for my PC cards.
I got one touches where you can add a custom flip fill.
Yeah, I like those. Yeah,
I can do it.
Yeah, there's guys doing that. There's one guy. Yeah, I can show you. I can point you to a video.
Thanks, boys. But I want to do it for me. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like
I big for you. Yeah,
yeah.
You don't need to use HGA to do it. Is what I'm saying.
No, I bought the card. I just didn't want to crack it until I showed it.
Fair. Okay.
You know what I mean? Our watchers might not be aware that they're like, oh, that's cool, you know. But that wouldn't be my first go-to. Okay, let's focus on the card too, though. That card is pretty rare, and you don't see them too often. And there's a wicked. If you're an Ovechkin person, Ovechkin's got a beautiful counter sister card to it because Crosby's the brother. Okay,
we can go like this, Jeremy. I can just mute him.
No, I got to go, guys. I'm sorry. But but I'd like to just say thank you so much for that. This was a blast. I feel like I haven't been on with you guys in months, but it feels like no time has passed.
That's real. It's authentic. It's good. Get out of here, you hoser.
No, it's great. It's great
Bye,
to
Jeremy.
be with you guys.
Appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. Thank you to the audience and everybody. This was a lot of fun. I'll see you guys all at the expo in about a month.
See ya.
Peace out.
Bye.
Am I right out first?
That is a great card, Phil. Let's go back to it because I want to. The picture looks amazing too. It's
phenomenal. I'll pick them up if I see these. I'll take 4 of them any day for the binder. Yeah.
All right.
And then my last card.
Ooh.
So full disclosure, I lost this card in my house for like 3 months. I was panicking and I found it and I'm really happy.
Oh,
Well,
and,
you should. It is a personal pickup then.
you picked it up
amazing.
out of the crack of the basement.
That's right. Yeah. Or your butt. Lots of room in there.
Oh,
I think that's it.
Yeah, it is it. Josh, you're up. I'm Bump Kiss.
Okay. I have one card. It's Phil and I are Skybox EX2000 bros.
Okay.
We're best buddies on our favorite set. I picked up a Mario Lemieux exceptional. It's raw. I like it. They're cool.
Oh baby, I like it raw.
These are legends, so these are EPAC ones. But I pick them up all the time if they're centered, because I'm a centering snob. That's
Pick
it.
it up.
Good job, boys.
So Jeremy left 30 seconds. He just had to wait 30 seconds.
Well, he doesn't get paid because you have to be here to the end of the show to get your paycheck of nothing.
He missed
There we
his
go.
pennies. Yeah.
If you like the episode, please leave a rating, review on Apple, Spotify, whatever podcast app you listen to us on. If you love the show, if you love Baba Louie's hairstyle, who doesn't? And you want to support us, so maybe he can, like, his wife doesn't kill him and he can dye it back to a normal color. And you want to chat with us on our Discord server, please consider a $5 month donation. Join our $999 support level tier on Patreon. Link is in the show description, our Instagram profile. You can search for us on our website, hockeycardsgongshow.com, or on Patreon's website, patreon.com. And then, that's where you'd search for us, Hockey Cards Gong Show. If you're on our website, you're already there. You can follow us on social media. We are on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube. And boys, the Hockey Cards Gong Show podcast is a production of Dogbox Ventures, LLC. Have an awesome start to your week. Enjoy the hunt for the playoffs. Good luck to your Senators, Phil. I hope they get in.
Thank you.
Baba Louie, take us out.
Bye.
It's the Gong Show, we're dropping the facts. Hockey cards on fire, no holding us back. Josh looking sharp, the face of the scene. Feeling pork chop pants, rocking it clean. Baba Louie in the booth, he's the man with the plan. The best producer in all the land. Gong Show Nation, let's hit the flow. It's the Hockey Cards Gong Show, let's go, let's go. Wanna say the minute show. So
Yeah?